This episode of Take a Picture is brought to you by Soapazon. Head over to soapazon.com. Use promo code TAP, TAP, for 15% off your order. Get yourself some baseball soap. Pine Tar is my personal favorite. Like I said, soapazon.com. Promo code TAP gets you 15% off your order today.
Welcome back to Take a Pitch. Sorry, Fisher had headphone warning. Welcome back to Take a Pitch. How you doing, Maxwell?
Man. I'm doing all right. World Baseball Classic starting, which means meaningful baseball is being played on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But we saved the best for last. Obviously, we've been doing our previews the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
AL East, NL East, obviously two best divisions in baseball.
Yeah, close to home for us.
True. I mean, and we brought in some help for this because 2 years ago. Now, let me set the table here.
Hold
2 years
on.
ago.
It is crazy to me that was 2 years ago. I really feel like it was last year, but when you proved it to me that it was 2 years ago, that's crazy, man.
I probably did the same thing last year too, but 2 years ago is when we have it on record, at least public record on Instagram.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I called out saying the Phillies would go about 81, I think, and obviously, we have some friends who are Phillies fans, and we have one of them joining today. We have Matt Fisher joining us today to defend his Phillies because I saw it on the reels.
On the Power Play's finest. Gotta shout out my pod, yo.
Yes, sir. On the Power Play.
We're nipping at your heels, boys. We're catching up to you. You're like, oh, they're starting out. We're established. A couple years go by. It's we pass 100 epis.
you guys are killing.
We got a fan base following us.
That's what it's about, man.
We got the second best graphic designer on Southside Productions, but it's a good silver's a good medal to win in that. And I'm excited, boys. I'm excited to be here on Take a Pitch. Get to talk about baseball. The warm weather's right around the corner. The boys are in spring training. There's a pitch clock that everyone can't seem to get, even though it's pretty basic. It's getting rid of the shift. Boys, it's going to be a good product. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
So 2 years ago, I called up the Phillies saying they'd be mid as fuck. Found the memory on Instagram, scrolling through some pages or whatever, and I said, hey, I was off by a game 2 years ago. Obviously, the Phillies were successful last year. See if you wanted to come onto the podcast and defend your boys.
How much success did they have last year?
They had a little success.
Yeah, a flag being brought that says
a little success, a lot of luck, but
hey, man,
that's what it takes with baseball.
Don't overhype catching lightning in a ball, dude.
You're right.
Magical thing, and I witnessed magic. What they did last year, the Phillies,
and especially when you got a theme song to go with it. Come on, man.
Oh, I hated the theme song. I hated the theme song. You want to know why?
Man.
I loved it when they had the boys in the locker room just pouring champagne, just jumping up and down, like going wild. But then it got so big. And of course, the song I'm talking about is Dancing on My Own, the remix version, obviously. Yeah. But you have to understand what has been embedded, like what has been the seed. These bands that play at sporting games beforehand at tailgate that are just crap. They're just terrible bands.
There's some good ones.
Them a song to play for the rest of the time, and it's just so bad. It's not a great song at all. And these crappy bands are gonna sing it like, 2022, I'm in the corner, watching you kiss. It's just not gonna be good. So that's where I was like, all right, the song is kind of like, it was cool because it was a part of the ride, but
right,
the aftermath effect of the song will not be great because I'm gonna be hearing, I'm gonna be like, this sounds fucking awful. But yeah,
let's just jump right into it, and we'll start with the NL East, and the way we've been doing it, Fisher, is we're going in order of standings from last year. So we're gonna start with the Braves, and real quick off the bat, let's just talk about the Braves last year. Obviously, they got hot at the right time. The Mets faltered late, so the Braves were able to get to a position where uh, they can put themselves in a position to win a game, win the division. Sorry, they needed to sweep the Mets at the end of the season. They did what they had to do, and again, the Braves are just a really well built team. The
Or
farm
yeah.
system, all that stuff. They've done it internally and relied on their own guys. Haven't had to spend money, uh, but
Oh, they're
they
spending
lost one of
money.
their key guys.
It's not a lot, but they're
Spent
spending
money.
No,
money.
no,
Spent money on Max Fried.
but they lost one
Or
of their
was it
key
Strider?
homegrown
It
guys.
was
They
Not
Strider.
yeah,
developed.
Strider.
It was Strider.
Fried is actually free. Is Fried a free agent this year? He is, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it
It's
next
so
year?
wild that they didn't lock him up.
I think it might be next year. Did him and Nola came up the some did they come up the same year or
I think so. Let's see.
because Nola I know Nola is a free agent
No,
at the
next
end
year.
of this year.
Max Fried is next year. Yeah, he's at
Next
4
year.
years of service
Okay.
time. Yep. But anyway, Braves lost Dansby Swanson.
So free
So um, the biggest thing is who's going to fill in at shortstop there. It seems like it's going to be Vaughn Grissom.
God bless their
And
hearts.
they lost Kenley Jansen and Adam Duvall as well. Both of them signed in Boston. They did make a move that surprised the hell out of a lot of people, which was they brought in Sean Murphy in a trade when they had Contreras and they had Darno as established catchers, and both very good catchers. Um, Obviously, Sean Murphy is one of the premier backstops in baseball defensively, and
He's solid
he's got a solid
offensively.
bat. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think he had like a one. I think he had like a 120. Actually, it says
yeah,
right here,
120 OPS. Yep,
right here, 120 OPS. Yeah. So
18
I don't even
homers.
like OPS. Weighted runs created plus is better.
Yeah, 18 home runs in a huge, and he played most of his games in a huge ballpark in Oakland. You know,
Yeah.
so think about what he'll do in Atlanta, which is it's still a bigger ballpark than most, but think about what he'll do there. Um, I like the move. Obviously, as a baseball fan, as a Mets fan, sorry, I hated it.
Well,
Because that just means the Braves are still going to be right there. Um, they didn't lose too many guys, too many key guys. Sorry, Jesse Chavez came back on a minor league deal. Jake Jackson, the reliever, left on a minor league deal, and Robbie Grossman.
wait, you talking about the Braves?
Yeah.
Did you say they didn't lose?
Outside of the three I mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying in general because I was like, dude.
No.
Dansby.
Dansby.
That is a huge loss.
Yeah.
They're gonna go from Dansby, who even if Dansby comes back down to earth or what he is, he's a 110 OPS plus kind of guy, not the 138 that we saw last year. But his defense is elite. His base running elite. He's he's definitely a top 10 shortstop in right now anyway. That's a huge loss, and now they're going to a guy who will be a bottom 10 of the 30 teams. So
yeah, a 22
how will they adjust to that?
Rookie.
Will Arcia end up playing shortstop? I think so personally.
You think so?
Yep. I think if you just look at his baseball savant, I mean, I think it actually might only be the three categories because he didn't play enough. But you look at his underlying stats. I mean, he hit very well when he first came up. Pitchers adjusted really quick though, and he got mowed down, and he didn't play. So
It'll be interesting to see how Grissom attacks this year. And I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it's the Braves. They're still going to be there at the end. They're going to be the annoying team that gets hot at the right time.
They have good rotation.
Have Austin Riley. Yep, they still have Austin Riley. They still have Matt Olson. If Acuna can figure out how to get over his fear with his knee, because you know that there's that fear there. There's the fear to test that surgically repaired knee, and you can tell he's not running as hard. He's taking his days off. He's like an NBA player.
I saw him in person, man. He did not want to be in Citizens Bank Park at all. That Philly crowd was on him like flies on shit.
Yeah, he's just, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think he's low key a pussy. Yeah. I think Acuna, he's afraid to test the knee. Now, granted, you trust your doctors. He doesn't like obnoxious crowds. You can tell he gets flustered by it easily,
But Atlanta's super obnoxious when the
but not
moment is
to him.
there.
Yeah, not to him
No,
though.
not to him. I'm just saying in general.
So he's
He
got some
probably
thin.
likes that.
Looks like
Is
he's got
what
some thin skin.
where I'm going.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But
I'm sure a lot of guys do
yeah,
try
the
to
biggest
ignore it as much as they can. But
the biggest issue I have in Atlanta right now is they still have Marcell Ozuna as their DH,
yeah, I mean,
and
that's what
that's
happens,
a
right?
huge dent in that lineup. I mean,
Yeah,
I,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
honestly, they have a strong 1 through 4 that you know what they're gonna put up. You know what Acuna, Olsen, Riley, and Murphy. You know what they're gonna put up, right?
Right.
Maybe you don't really know what Murphy's gonna do because, but also he has a relationship with Matt Olson, right?
Mhm.
So maybe that plays a little bit of a more comfortability factor for them. But all in all, we don't know what Michael Harris is going to do this year in his sophomore campaign. I'm not a huge believer in the sophomore slump, but when you have I I like looking at the baseball savant pages. His baseball
Right.
savant page shows he is going to regress. He was getting a little lucky. Is he going to be an elite base runner and an elite defender in center field? Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he has actually kind of a noodle arm, but don't take me on my word for that. A lot of center fielders do have noodle arms, but anyway, Harris.
I'm
Don't know
sorry.
what he's
Hearing noodle arm is just I don't know why it just sends me sometimes just out of nowhere. You talk about baseball, you're thinking, oh, it's a man's sport. Gotta be tough to play baseball. You're facing all this 98-mile noodle arm. Nope,
noodle
noodle
arm,
arm.
and then Albies coming off a severely injured season, and he's also extremely overrated in my opinion. He's a well-rounded, slightly above average player.
Yeah.
He's well-rounded, above average. Not great. Ozuna, trash. Eddie Rosario, trash. Vaughn Grissom, trash, in my opinion. I think that they
Yeah, I mean,
downgraded pretty badly.
I think so too. And that rotation is still nothing to look, ignore.
Yeah.
I mean, free Kyle Wright, who could be anywhere from 2 to 5 in that rotation.
Yeah. I mean,
Carlin Morton,
Kyle Wright,
Strider, and Ian Anderson.
Kyle Wright, I believe, was sub 2 going into June. So
I think so.
The first 2 months of the season, and he was a top prospect. I believe in Kyle Wright, honestly. I think the Braves, for once, their strength is going to be their starting rotation.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I mean, they
now, let me ask,
always had a strong rotation, but they have a good rotation this year.
Yeah.
What are you asking?
What you saying, Matt?
I say it's loaded. I mean, it's got
yeah,
Max Speed, Kyle Wright, Spencer Strider, got paid, got eat up in the playoffs, but he got paid for a reason because he's gonna got paid for a reason. He's gonna come in this contract, probably move into your ace position.
Well, yeah, especially with entering free agency after next year, I believe.
Right, but still, it's
locking in the future.
Yeah,
it's kind of a situation where it's you're gonna have, you might have a situation where you're gonna have 2 shortstops getting half and half of the load, replacing Swanson, what he was able to bring.
Mm-hmm.
But they find a way. They find all these players that are from the Dominican Republic. I know they got they got 12 U.S. players or something like that.
And also somehow with their who were
28. They got 28 U.S. players, and they only got
40 man. Yeah,
3 Dominican Republic.
That's it.
Yeah, and these Dominican Republic guys are just so effing good
on their 40 man. Yeah.
Wow. What I was going to say about Spencer Strider, that's another guy. He does not. He has thin skin. Clearly, we know that.
I'm amazed Philly fans can get to him. If Mets fans can get to him, I'm amazed Philly fans didn't.
Because I don't think.
Did.
Well, they only hit him in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, they didn't have an answer for him in the regular season.
In the regular season, right?
Once the playoffs roll around, they went,
Yeah, and he was
Harper, or Hoskins, bat spike, Harper.
that.
Oh, I wasn't out with the
I,
bat spike. That was against him. Yep.
Yeah.
I never liked Hoskins. That is by far, that is a top 3 moment from the 2022 season. Easy.
Well, you also hate Strider more than you hate Hoskins, I think.
I'd probably hit them equal.
All right.
No, I don't hate Hoskins. He's not bad. I honestly I don't hate anybody on the Phillies, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Which is weird because 12-year-old
That
Billy
was
would
weird
be
for you to
like, "What
say,
what
yeah.
the fuck are you talking about, motherfucker?" But
So,
what's it called?
yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah, sorry.
I lost it. Sorry.
Okay. So I was just saying, if you look at this team, the roster, you look at the Atlanta Braves, obviously someone's going to step up. 2 years ago, it was Duvall and Eddie Rosario. Last year, it was Austin Riley carrying the team. William Contreras and Travis d'Arnaud shining from the catcher position, and Spencer Strider in the rotation.
Yeah.
Who's an X factor, you think, for this Braves team?
Who's the X factor? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, realistically, probably Vaughn Grissom, but I would also say Travis d'Arnaud because this is from Fangraphs, obviously. What's over here on my side
Mm-hmm.
that we have posted here, and I don't think that that's going to be the lineup. I think that Travis d'Arnaud and Sean Murphy are probably going to flip flop between catching and DH.
Yeah.
For the most part. I mean, Marcell Ozuna is still he's probably one of the highest paid guys on the team. He's making 16 million. So they're still gonna play him. When you think of Marcell Ozuna, do you think of anything else besides when he tried to rob that home run that was 10 feet short?
I think all the big chains he wears when he plays baseball. I'm like, that dude's got like 8K in a chain.
He wishes he was Yoenis Cespedes.
I was like, bro, why are you rocking a chain that expensive playing a greasy sport like baseball?
It's like
He's
Javier
slow enough
Baez.
as is, yeah.
When he slid into home plate and lost that earring,
That's the earring, yep.
How much was the hit? Like
15K, something like that.
15K, right? Per earring.
So, ballpark. Yeah.
Yeah, someone swiped that shit. You know it. You know someone saw it and swiped it. Somebody.
So yes.
They're good, yeah, raking the field. They're like, oh, there's something shiny.
15K, $15,000 right here on the ground in this little fucking pebble. Taking that shit. What were you
so Matt, who would your X factor be?
It's gotta be Acuna. It's gotta be Acuna. He gets paid the money. He's in the position of right field. Look at all the great right fielders in the NL East. Like it has to be him. If it's not him, then they're in serious trouble. Let's be real here. It's like
true. He's really their only 5-tool player, really.
Yeah,
Michael Harris, maybe potentially.
Well, outside of Austin Riley, there's no real big consistent bat outside of maybe Matt Olson.
I think Matt Olson will have a better year this year, second year, more comfort. He's from Georgia too, so
Yeah. See, and my X factor, I'm going to say Michael Harris. If he does what he did last year, he'll be okay. If Vaughn Grissom has an average year, which we could expect him to have an average year, league average, not. And Michael Harris struggles, that lineup is looking kind of weak then. If you have those two guys struggling or even being league average, you're not going to get to a division title.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and we know somehow they were ranked what? I think 28th or 29th in farm system. They are somehow still
the dead sheep. Yeah, I know.
They are still somehow going to pull off some crazy trade that we're like, how are they doing this, dude?
Right. We're going to revisit my rant from the deadline last year with a 3-legged dog and a half-deaf sheep or whatever it was.
Who was that? Tucker Davidson?
Tucker Davidson, yep.
Yeah.
And he got moved. Where did he go? For I don't remember what
Angels,
but
the Glaciers.
Angels, yeah. Yep.
He's still there.
Insane, dude.
Like the thing is, like Kyle Muller, right?
That was the other one. Yep.
He's actually a decent arm, right? He has potential. He was a higher prospect. He didn't do too well over the first few years, but he actually still has potential. Tucker Davidson is not a quality MLB arm. He's at best a back end piece. So yeah.
And here's my other thing is that the depth in this rotation isn't there. You Oscar Yanoa, Tommy John surgery in September. I mean, you look at the
Not that he
bullpen,
was
Tyler
good anyway.
Matzik, Tommy John surgery in October.
Yeah.
You have a strained oblique from Kobe Allard.
Allard. But yeah.
Allard. Yeah.
I like the way you said that. I wish it was pronounced like that though. That's a lot fancier. Allard. That's
well, you know who I was thinking of?
Hit him up.
The former Mets guy, front office guy. I think it was at the Mets. I don't
know. When you said that, I thought of Gerald Laird.
So, wow, that's a fucking name.
That's a name right there.
I mean, the back end of their bullpen is AJ Minton, Raisel Iglesias. It's tough. They have Kirby Yates in a mid relief role. Colin McHugh's there. I don't know. Let's just get to the over under though real quick.
Yes, they won 101.
Right.
And they stayed at 101 because they got swept in the playoffs. So just putting that out there.
By the Phillies. So they're projected at 96.5. Losing Swanson, but they gained Murphy. What do you think?
I'll go over.
Matt, what are you thinking?
They're one injury away from losing like 7 games there.
I agree.
Under.
You go the under?
Yeah, I think they'll get hurt. Like,
I think it's a good line, 96.5. I do.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with the under, but 96.
I'm going 97.
Yeah.
So
they're in that ballpark. But again, like Matt said, one injury and everything can change.
We haven't disagreed on one so far. Just putting that out there.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
We might get there though.
Right. Let's move on to our favorite. Matt's least favorite. Let's talk about the New York Mets, which
love the rivalry
on a regular basis.
It seems like the richest rivalry. Even though in baseball, though the Mets kind of had their way with the Phillies. It's like the Mets had their way in the Phillies, and it looked like the Phillies were going to have to go through the Mets in the playoffs.
I agree.
Mets met in the playoffs, and then the Phillies just caught lightning in a bottle. Like,
well, tell me. Let me ask you this though: as a Phillies fan, were you afraid to play the Mets in the playoffs?
No.
No,
dude. Did you see how hot they were hitting? They were hitting everything.
True. That's true. So you weren't worried at all if you had to face the Mets?
No. The way they were playing, dude, they took the best team in the true best team in the postseason, the Houston Astros, and beat them 2 games. But gave them only 2 losses in the playoffs.
I mean, listen, let's be real though. That atmosphere in Philly can impact anyone. I mean, that place was rocking.
Boys, I want to tell stories.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
They're the next ones, so don't worry. We'll get there.
Good. Yep. Let's not jump the gun though.
But let's talk about those Mets.
Well, yeah, let's talk about it. I mean, let's be real here. The Mets had to overhaul their entire pitching staff this offseason, losing DeGrom, Taijuan Walker, and Chris Bassitt's the big 3 right there.
Yeah.
That's huge. When 3 of your top 4 starters leave, you have to answer. And obviously the Mets did that. We talked about it last week with the spending spree with them versus the Padres, bringing in Kodai Senga from Japan, Justin Verlander, and I think we replaced Bassett with Quintana, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Quintana. Yeah, I mean, no one directly really. I mean, it's Senga.
Yeah.
Senga to Bassett, Quintana to
I was never high on
Walker.
Bassett. He did well against the Phillies, but every other team I saw him face, he just got eaten.
He's a nice middle rotation guy.
I don't know how many games you saw, but I saw way more Chris Bassett games than I ever expected. Listen, I like the trade. I didn't like it that much to where I saw my season tickets was 8 starts.
I
saw 8 Chris Bassett starts with my season tickets last year. That's absurd. Anyway, we talk about overhauling the rest of the pitching staff. David Robertson coming in with the bullpen because they lost Trevor May. They lost what's we lose?
Everyone. Literally Edwin Diaz and Drew Smith were the only two that are returning.
Mm-hmm.
They did
Yeah,
sign Adam Ottavino back, so he is returning, but he was a free agent.
right.
Robertson really
Let's see.
got good for the Phillies come the latter half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
Yeah, I mean Robertson, I think, was a huge
he's old.
pickup.
He's old.
He is old, but he's veteran. He could still hit mid
Yeah.
90s and 96. So
You gotta hope, right?
And then
You got-
to me, I'll tell you this much: they lost. Let's see, they lost Lugo, Michael Gibbons with addition by subtraction, Trevor May, Dom Smith. They let go. Uh, who else? Joely Rodriguez, Tyler Naquin, and Trevor
uh,
Williams. Now the biggest one
the
to me,
bench.
and the entire bench, yeah. The biggest one to me was Trevor Williams. If you're looking at just pitching wise, Trevor Williams filled in incredibly for the Mets last year, and he was a huge piece when the arms got tired late.
Yeah. I didn't have room over here. Otherwise, he was the next guy that I was going to do. But I had to get I had to put in those 3 subtractions. So
yeah, those are the big ones. Obviously, with DeGrom going to Texas, Taiwan Walker going to Philly, which that's going to be makes for some interesting games.
So the offense has returned.
Guys, I gotta ask you a question. Did you guys have a expectation that DeGrom didn't want to be in New York anymore?
Semi, yeah.
Semi?
I mean, just realistically thinking about the guy, he's always been a little bit more quiet, and he's from or like outside of Orlando, Florida, and just politically thinking wise, I mean, he doesn't fit in New York at all. New York City.
Yeah,
you wanted to get out of a high tax state, you think?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and crime and there's a lot.
Said though that there was no real strong inclination to leave New York. He thought he'd be back. There was a lot going on there that we can get into for hours.
I'm sure he probably did. Like money wise, I thought that he probably thought that he was going to be back, but I do see like the rumors of people saying about his wife not liking New York, and they, I mean, New York's crime is through the fucking roof, and everyone knows that. And you don't want to raise kids here in the city anyway. I wouldn't. There's no fucking chance in hell I would raise kids in the city.
Is Manhattan bad?
Yes, all pretty much like. Pretty much all of them are.
My sister lives in the East Side.
Well, it depends on like where,
Upper East Side.
That's nice over there.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
It's really nice over there.
I want my sister to be.
Yeah, no, like upper West Side is bad, and then there's like, it's like the subways.
We've strayed so far from the Mets. It's not even funny.
Got on to the politics of the political state of New York City.
Oh
but,
man.
Yeah, no, Jacob deGrom, I see it. It makes sense. So,
listen,
God bless him. I love him.
There was a time where we thought DeGrom might come back. There was a time where we thought he's just gone. There was a little bit of both. So
yeah,
I kind
teetered
of
back and forth.
Sort of prepared, sort of wasn't. But again, it's one of those things where at the end of the day, it's a business decision. Baseball's a business.
Yeah,
gotta respect it. And he gave best 9 years of his career, as far as we know, to the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, the guy is 100% going to the Hall of Fame, and as of right now, he is going in with the New York Mets logo on his hat. So,
we'll say it that way. But anyway, back to the Mets off season.
Hold on.
As you said, yeah,
I'm staying on him. Just, a lot of people say that, the Mets didn't upgrade because all they did was flip DeGrom for Verlander. But here's the thing, right? DeGrom pitched in how many games last year?
Right.
Half of what Verlander.
Not even.
Half.
Not even.
Best half.
What, 8 starts?
Verlander?
I think.
I think it was 11.
Oh, it was 11? So. A third of a season.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're getting it's different, like you're getting an upgrade in a guy who's going to stay on the field, really, compared to Jacob deGrom. But God bless him.
Right. Obviously, you look at the Mets, and we'll stick with the rotation. But I mean, the rotation, you look, it's a lot of ages there. Verlander at 40. Scherzer turning 39 this year. Senga's 30. Carrasco's 36. And then David Peterson is the fifth spot is 27. He's finally going to get a chance to solidify his name in that rotation. With Quintana now out for a little bit, stress fracture in his rib.
They don't know how
But
long it's going to be though.
Quintana, 34. The Mets have a lot of innings on those arms in the rotation. And the bullpen doesn't scare me like it did in years past. Now, obviously, bringing in Brooks Raley, David Robertson.
Can you give an example as to what year past scared you more than this bullpen?
Every year scares me with the Mets bullpen.
No.
Not in terms of good. I'm saying I feel a little more confident though.
Weird phrasing. Okay.
Sorry, as Mets fans, when we talk about the bullpen, it's all scary.
Well,
let's be real. Let's be real here.
Just you're gonna tell me right now that if I said it doesn't scare me as it has in years past,
right? For the general population, if not diehard Mets fans like we are, correct. Bad phrasing.
Listen, I'm a diehard Mets fan. Your phrasing is off. It's okay. I'll give you a 2 out of 10. Proceed. You have time to make it up.
But again, the back end, Brooks Raley, David Robertson, Ottavino, and Diaz. As long as the Mets can get to those guys, they'll be okay. Drew Smith is going to play a huge role in this bullpen.
Looks like Bryce Montes de Oca is probably going to make the team too.
Yeah,
and he's got a fucking arm, dude.
101 with 221 inches of run. Oh,
yeah, and then that slider. Oh, go if you have not seen Bryce Montes de Oca, which is Goose Mountain, right? Dope last name. Mountain? I think it's Goose Mountain is the translation. It roughly translates to Goose Mountain.
Now. Hold up.
If you have not seen him pitch, please go on. Who's a Pitching Ninja, right? He posts them. Go on Pitching Ninja, Twitter, Instagram. I'm sure he's got Facebook. Go find that video. He is filthy. He has potential to be a really, really, really successful reliever. But, I mean, they overhauled the entire bullpen, which was the Mets' weakness last year, and turned it into a strength. I mean, crazy.
Gotta show it's a strength. You could say it's a strength on paper.
Yeah, Goose Mountains.
Goose Mountains, yeah.
Goose Mountains. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to happen with bullpen, of course, but you just they definitely got better.
Yeah, and Eliezer Hernandez also is going to play a role at some point in this season as a long guy, as a spot starter, and that's going to go. They said they're going to go 6 deep at some points, to save the arms of guys like Verlander, Scherzer, Carrasco.
Smart.
Mets brought in Tommy Pham for the offense as the fourth outfielder.
I like that.
This team
can't wait.
Yeah,
I hope they act like
shit of that ball.
I hope they act like, yo, you got a guy who is a black belt in, was it Muay Thai or Judo or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yo, just act reckless. No one's fucking with you if Tommy Pham is on your team.
Tommy Pham plus the angry buck face. Oh, game over. Well, we still have Marcana, so he's gonna get punked a bunch of times. They brought in Omar Narvaez to replace James McCann until Francisco Alvarez is ready. Brett Beatty may play a huge role. I don't think as far as we know, he's killing it in spring training.
No.
They re-upped Jeff McNeil for a long-term deal. The Mets are, and we said this last year, and we're gonna say it next year. The Mets are in a position where it's a win now, or don't even bother showing up to the ballpark. This is a team that's built to win now. This is a team that expects to win now.
Yep.
And an ownership that's going to spend to win now.
Yep.
The Mets are the last team I'd want to play in the playoffs, just because of how stacked they can be if everybody's performing right. Obviously, injuries have hampered the Mets for the entirety of the franchise. If Starling Marte can be healthy by mid-April, 100% back to Starling Marte, I think the Mets have a great chance to even go back and win 100 games. The health is huge for the Mets.
And just the man Francisco Lindor. He's him. He is now fully comfortable in New York. It is a big difference in the guy, and you
And
feel it, you
pain-free.
see it. Pain free. That's right. The guy had a fucking what was it? Appendix. He had appendicitis for
For
5
the last 5
years.
years.
5 years. And he thought so. Anytime that he had a fucking injury in his oblique or his side or his whatever, it was really appendicitis the whole fucking time. Isn't that crazy, dude? That is wild. And he's just
They're
like,
just
all
trying
right,
to figure out what the hell.
Yeah, I
Well, what
mean, I
kind of
know the appendix. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't burst.
burst.
Like I've
He's
heard,
lucky it
Yeah,
didn't burst.
exactly.
I've known people who had their appendix burst, and they say
Yeah,
not fucking
Yeah.
fun.
Not fun at all. No. So he finally had his
Crazy.
appendectomy this all season. No appendix, no pain.
Yeah.
And if you look at the year he had last year,
Yeah.
with some pain,
With pain. Yeah, with
and he missed
appendicitis.
one game. And he missed one game
Yeah,
due to
I mean,
slamming his finger in a door.
yeah.
Which been there, I get it.
You slammed your finger in a door. How'd you do that?
A couple times, honestly.
Was it when you were on your knees licking the doorknob?
No.
Door
Long
like
time ago.
Breast.
I eat brass.
But I don't even remember
no.
how I started that. Maybe Macca remembers.
COVID.
I know, but it was you, me, and Macca. I know that. I just don't remember how it
man.
started.
But yeah, anyway, let's focus back to the Mets now. Billy, where did we get these lines from? The overrunners? Where did you get pull these over?
I don't remember.
All right, well, someone's a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Mets line here we have set it's 94.5. Let me ask you real quick before we get
I
to
think
that.
it was Bet US.
Okay.
And they
X
used
Factor for the Mets?
Yeah.
Who you got?
X Factor. That's hard.
There's a lot of what ifs with the Mets every year, it seems.
Honestly, at the end of the year, it seemed to be the case. Starling Marte.
Yeah.
I'll go with him. I think that's a big piece. And obviously Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander and Kodai Senga. I mean, it's a given.
Rotation as a whole.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you think?
Me, I will go a little bit on the latter side. I mean, the last half of your lineup. I mean, there's that piece in second base and Mr. McNeil that you just locked up, and he was an all-star.
My guy.
Yeah, I know he's your guy,
Batting
but
champ.
like he's just kind of he's the glue in the bottom half of your lineup. Like, yeah, you got, Lindor and, Alonso at the top. Then you can, who else is at the top?
Nimmo.
Yeah, Brandon Nimmo, yeah.
It's Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, Alonso, McNeil at the 5-hole, which, I mean, Jeff thrived in the 5-hole last year.
Yeah. But, like, if he can do what he did last year, it's like you're guaranteed 90 plus. You're guaranteed 90 plus.
Yeah.
And then, not to mention, it's like if fucking Alonso does what he's expected to do, is finish top 2 in the home run race, and then you get Lindor being the captain of the team. I mean, I'd go over with the line, to be honest with you. It's like, I think they're probably gonna have a similar situation as they just did of having a 100 win season. I'll give them the great one. I'll go 99. I don't think they get 100. Go 99, and then they
That's
lose
still hitting the over because the line's at 94.5.
Right.
I mean, come on, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's low.
Right. But then they're gonna lose in the playoffs because they're gonna face the Phillies. The Phillies are gonna find that hitting magic that they have, and they're just gonna hit the piss out of Scherzer and Verlander.
Where are they going to face them? NLCS, Division Series, Wild Card.
Hopefully, hopefully everything shapes up. It's NLCS. Who wins the pennant?
That would be top tier. That everyone is watching that fucking series.
You will get the worst of the worst though, sitting right along the railings. Like the worst human beings in Philadelphia will show up lining the railing
On
around the
both
ballpark in
sides.
Philly. And then, dude, yeah.
There, there's going to be so many people
Right.
telling them to kill themselves. It's not even going to be funny. It's crazy.
It's not funny.
I'm going to go a little different on the X Factor, though.
Ooh,
I'm going to go with Brett Beatty.
I was debating him, but I believe in Eduardo for one more year.
I do too, but I think, listen, Brett Beatty's having himself a spring.
By the way, actually, I just want to put this out there. Eduardo Escobar played left field with Venezuela.
That's so weird.
So just putting that out there.
That's so weird.
I just got the alert that Japan and Korea are playing at like 5 a.m. on FS1.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, might as well just wake up, go downstairs, and just go back to sleep watching it.
Yep. So I'm gonna go Brett Beatty's the X Factor because listen, the hit homer in his first at bat in the majors, having himself a spring against Major League pitching.
Yeah.
He's worked all off season. Obviously, the chip on his shoulder with the Correa deal. We didn't even touch that in this episode. We touched it a lot.
Made a fantastic play yesterday, by the way.
Yeah. Defense is seeming to get better. Brett Beatty could be a huge factor going forward.
And he worked with
Tulowitzki.
Yeah. Pretty dope.
Yeah. So I'm hitting the over at 101. I know, Bill, you're probably hitting the over too. I don't know where you're going with it, but I know you're hitting the over.
Under 72 and 90.
Shit hits a fan. All the old pitchers you have finally hit their wall.
Man, I don't know if you realize the Mets do one of two things. They either go 90 and 72 or 72 and 90. They
There's
really
nowhere in between.
Games. They went 90 and 72 last year.
No, honest, actual. Well, no, that is actual. That's one of my guesses. With the Mets, every single year, it's 72 and 90 is one option. The other option is over, and I'm gonna go 97. I think that they tie with the Braves again, 97-97.
Oh, you don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I'm doing it.
I wouldn't be able to handle that. I would not be able to handle that. If we had to go, because I don't think we play them late in the year next year.
Do you remember? No, we don't. But do you remember 2015 NL Central? And it was the Cardinals,
and Cubs. Yep.
No, Cubs and Pirates. And they were
the Pirates in 15.
Yep.
If you say so.
Go look it up. I'm gonna talk the rest. I'm gonna tell the rest of it. Go look it up right now.
Go ahead.
And the Cardinals, I believe, hit 100, and then the Pirates were 98, and the Cubs were 97, or maybe it was flip flop. But I'm pretty sure that's how it was.
You got it right. Yep. Pirates went 98 and 64 in 2015. Wow, I didn't know that.
You're gonna fuck with this guy's autism right now on baseball numbers? Fuck you! Don't.
I didn't recognize. Wow.
Yeah, no, that was one of the most, like, for two teams who don't
bad. Wow.
Yeah, they were building up, but for two teams that are, like, they weren't great teams. Like, they were good. They were definitely good. I mean, they won 97 and 98 games, but like, not national spotlight type teams, right? I guess the Cubs a little bit more, but that was one of the most entertaining wild card games that I've ever watched.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that in the NL East this year.
I'll tell you why the Cardinals won the division. They won 2 more games at home than the Pirates. They had identical away records.
Oh, did they?
2 more games at home.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah,
we all have the
great.
We all have the Mets going over though, right?
Yeah, over and under.
Yeah, of course. Let's move down the turnpike to Philly. Matt, this is your bread and butter right here. Let's talk about it. I know you have some stories you want to tell about last postseason. I'm just rubbing in our face a little bit. I'll let it happen.
Sure.
They won the pennant. We won the National League pennant, boys. And everyone's like, yeah, they're probably not going to do it. You know, last team to get in the playoffs. Like, kind of faltering at the end. And then, boom! Fucking one good win in St. Louis to advance out of the wild card round. And then Atlanta, they fucking hitting just turned on and they just became that fierce hitting team. And it just fucking was everything. And then to cap it all off, when they came home, the fans welcomed them like they were fucking family member fighting overseas in war. And it was just like, wow, playoff baseball back in Philadelphia. And it fucking just continued. It was just a straight party. Rob Thompson was at the winter meetings, and he said that he was talking to one of the managers they faced in the postseason. And he didn't say who. I mean, we could speculate who it was. I think it was Atlanta's. But they were just like, yeah, every time when we played in Philly, it was straight 4 hours of hell. Just absolutely.
Now it's only be 2.5 hours.
Yeah, now it's gonna be 2.5. Great, but it was just hell. Like fans, like all they needed was just a little spark, and they were just fucking erupt, and they just got on everybody, and they just were fucking. No one sat. Like you looked at Sis's Bay Park during those runs, and no one was fucking sitting, watching those games. It was like, oh, it was magic. I was like. You use the term catching lightning in a bottle. That run was the definition of catching lightning in a bottle. Like they were hitting everything. And they capitalized with beating the Padres. The Tatis-less Padres, but they still had Soto, Machado. It was great. It was fun.
The
Great
Padres
moment.
were super hot too. You gotta remember that.
Yeah, their bullpen was
red hot.
Bullpen was hot. Their hitters were hot. Look at Trent Grisham. Grisham was fantastic against the Mets and the Dodgers. And
he turned to fucking Babe Ruth.
The Padres were fantastic against the Dodgers. They swept them, didn't they?
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they swept them. If not, the Dodgers only won one game. I mean,
I think they might have swept them. Yeah,
like. And you got the bottom two teams in that NLCS, and yeah,
it was great, dude. It was,
but that's great though. As you said, it's great when that's what happens because.
Oh, not if you ask the Braves and Dodgers fans, they were bitching
or Mets fans.
Anything can happen.
No, Mets. We were already out. Nobody cared about that.
I think I said Fisher. I think I said to you directly, the Mets are going to lose in the wild card round.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to face the Padres. You're like, I don't want to.
I don't want to do that. No. Because they were.
I just didn't want to face fucking Yu Darvish. He always mows down the Mets. Always, for whatever reason. And I guess
Schwarber hit the longest home run I've ever seen anybody hit off. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Darvish. Fucking.
What was that? It was like
right field in the
freaking 480 or something like that, right?
It was like 472. That's the number that's ringing a bell to me.
Yeah, but it was great.
Dude. Oh, it rang the bell, all right. It rang the bell.
They smashed the bell. But like that's the thing is like we fall short. I'm okay to admit we lost to a better team in Houston in the World Series. It just kind of hurts because we had them after Game 3 and we hit 5 home runs in a World Series game. I really thought we had them. Then we got no hit.
Realistically, though,
it's like the Titanic hitting the iceberg when they got no hit.
Anyone that faced the Astros was going to lose.
Yeah, they would clear cut the best team.
Also,
you run into the buzzsaw.
Well, yeah, it's also just hard when you're running hot like the Phillies bats were.
And then they just went
everything
cold.
And then when you face the Astros,
Game 6, just cold.
They will find a way to just pull your fucking guts right out of your stomach and choke you with them. Like they find a way.
But it's like I was just so happy they won the pennant because I was just like, that's what if they win the pennant, I'm taking a victory because they're gonna add a flag to the flag.
That was so depressing to me. I don't know how you enjoyed that.
What? Losing to the Astros?
No. I went to the Mets in 2015. I went to Game 5 and saw them lose.
Series, yep.
Yeah, World Series. and I watched them lose in front of my very eyes. And
Can we not talk about this?
I really
can see
thought
the
that I was never
Hosmer
going to
slide.
watch or go to a baseball game ever again. I mean, good on you for being glass half full.
Yeah, he had to. I mean, but like Game 5, I was at the World Series, and that was one of the greatest games. Like it was so like action packed, and it wound up being the play of the game was the Chaz Grissom catch in center field, and great for him because he's a local kid. Like he went to college. He went to college with my brother. My brother
Millersville,
went
right?
Yeah, my brother went partying with Chaz, and
that's wild.
yeah, it's just he made the play of the series, and I had the best view of it. I thought that ball was out, and then
Chaz McCormick was on one in the World Series.
Yeah, and so but now it's like off season hit. They got better, like that. They made it to the World Series, and then they got better, and now it's just like vibes are right. The Citizens Bank Park is going to be juiced from start to finish. It's like I don't know if it'll be like consecutive sellouts after the Phillies won the World Series in 08. In like 2009, it was like every game was just sold out, but every game at Citizens Bank Park is just going to be juiced.
Yeah, I'm excited to go down there.
It is such a great environment, man. Such a great environment.
And I know you and Brian have been trying to get me to come down there for years. Brian, and Jeff.
Yeah, and now it's happening. But I'm ready to talk about this team because this team they look so fun on paper. Like this, just like their lineup just looks so fun.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's the lineup. The lineup was flashy.
Pitching's a little flashy. You still got
top heavy.
It's very top heavy, and they lost everyone that was, they're a free agent. They lost everybody. Syndergaard, Gibson, Segura, Eflin, Robertson, Camargo, all the depth guys. They lost them all.
They didn't sign them back.
Eflin got paid. Eflin got paid in Tampa. They threw him money that no one else was going to throw him.
Which we'll get to later in this episode. Yeah,
because they will he'll turn into something with them.
Probably
somehow,
but probably.
But you mentioned this lineup: Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Hoskins, and then they had Turner,
Nick Castellanos,
they had Trey Turner,
JT Real Muto. Then you got Filler and Brandon Marsh. From start to finish, it's like
you Marsh or Hall,
yeah, and you can do so much with this lineup.
What do you mean, Marsh or Hall?
In that 5 spot, I can't see Marsh hitting 9th. I think Marsh might be in the 6-5 spot.
Marsh is mid. Good defender.
He's mid. Yeah, he is totally mid. Like
great defender, but that's what the Phillies
need. Surrounded by
that's all they need. That's all they need. They just need the guy who's slightly above average offensively and a great defender in center field. They got that. Boom. Phillies good call on that one. You don't need a Mike Trout in center field.
Right, exactly. Instead, you get Mike Trout's backup.
Yeah,
I do. My buddy was the away team's bat boy for the Phillies this past year. I was asking him questions about everybody. He goes, I asked him, I was like, "What was Ohtani and Trout like?" He goes, "They were douchebags." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, did not vibe with them at all. Total douchebag."
I can see that in game. A lot of people are.
Yeah.
But he said Alonso was cool fucking dude. He said he went to the strip club with Alonso and he gave him $200. He said, "Go knock yourself out, kid."
That's awesome.
That's Pete Alonso for you. But,
breaking news: Pete Alonso, strip club in Philly.
Yes, Delilah's.
Big strip club guy.
Delilah's. But it's just at top of the lineup. It's like you had Schwarber setting records for hitting home runs in the leadoff position, and now you had Trey Turner, who's, his
right. Schwarber set an RBI record.
Yeah, his stats at first, second, and third are just fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, he's pretty even in each spot.
Unbelievable.
And keep in mind, we're talking about this all this without Bryce Harper, who's working his way back from Tommy John surgery. I mean,
And they're
this
good.
lineup is
That's what I'm
so
saying.
much
They're
deeper.
going to
But
get
by the
better
way, did anyone see
throughout
the
the year.
did anyone see the video of him today?
Heading
Hitting
in the
off
back
yep,
cages.
the cage.
Well, no, the little interviews.
I didn't see
No,
the
I didn't
interviews.
see that.
Oh, he was so handsome.
He's
Oh,
You
I
got
mean,
you got
come
to
on,
see
man.
it. He's so handsome.
I thought you were telling us something new. Of course
Yeah, I did see the pictures. He's got the
handsome as
flow
always.
going in the hair. He looks a little bit like I mean, I don't want to say he looks weak because he's professional, but he looks like he's been going through a rehab stint rather than just like full on training. But yeah, he's happy to be back with the boys.
So real quick, because we talk about this offense all day long. Because this lineup is unreal. But I mean, they brought in some pitching, Kimbrel and Soto for the bullpen. But I'm looking at Fangraphs,
Kimbrel
and they
was
don't
a
even
big.
have Soto.
They
They don't even have either of those
That's
guys
creepy.
closing. Sir Anthony Dominguez is going to be the back end. Could it be a closer by committee? Could it? I don't know how they're going to handle that. Alvarado kind of had a decent year last year to where
Once
he
they called him
overcame those
up,
demons.
they sent him
Yeah, he
down,
overcame
and
the
then they
demons
called
of
him
years
up, and he
past.
was like the best relief pitcher in the National League after that.
And then they brought in Taiwan Walker. So I mean, the rotation:
Yeah.
Nola, Wheeler, Walker, Suarez, and Falter. Once you get past the top two, it becomes a lot of question marks. I mean, Suarez is a reliable guy. He's not going to
He's
give you
shown he's more reliable than a flag up in the air or question mark up in the air. He's more of a reliable type pitcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say their bottom half is probably, I would say shaky, but like not as good as maybe, Atlanta's is, or like,
Right.
We'll see what the Mets
At
look
the end of
like.
the day, the rotation is third best in this division. When you look at it,
Unless the
paper,
two-headed monster can, do
No,
lethal things.
I think
what do you
that
think, Billy?
I think that next team is better.
True.
I think the
It's
Marlins
possible.
are better.
It's
Definitely.
very much possible.
Don't get me wrong. Nola, Wheeler, incredible. Wheeler's better than Nola, by the way. But I have some concerns with Taiwan Walker in Citizens Bank Park.
That's fair.
When he starts getting hit a little, he's leaving it up. He's leaving, the splitter isn't working for him. And he gets hit. And in Citizens Bank Park, that's not a place that you want to. When he gets hit in the air, and he gets hit a little bit harder. He's not going to blow you away with 100 miles an hour either. So
No.
I like Taiwan. I loved having him on the Mets for the past few years, and I wish him all the luck. But right. I would be worried with a little regression. I do not think that he's going to be as effective in Philadelphia as he was in New York.
That's fair. I mean,
based on ballpark.
I'm gonna guess that Taiwan Walker might be your X factor based on that. I mean, because you made a great argument for him to be.
Thank you.
Because if Taiwan's going to be your three, you want him to be that three that he was in New York as a four. But you're right. He's going to get it's going to be a tougher adjustment because that ball. You're right, 100%. I mean, looking at the team in general, the X factor for me is Bryson Stott. I mean, towards the end of the year playoffs, he started really finding his stride with the bat, and that was at shortstop. I want to say.
Yeah,
they didn't really use him at second base. They used Segura at second base.
Yeah.
Now he's sliding over to
you
second base.
You want to talk about a cool
walk-up
song? Like, that was a staple point for the postseason. Every time he came up, he had the coolest walk-up song.
What was
it? It's living in this big cool world with the head up and down in space. And then it goes, I know I'll be A-O-A-OK. And the whole crowd would sing
awesome.
the A-O-A-OK. It was like an echo. It was just like vibes were so right. It was beautiful. It was so much better than Dancing on My Own. But I get into it.
I think Stott's gonna be the X factor.
He's gonna be at second base. They expect good defense from a team that didn't really have good defense last year.
probably their best defender on the infield,
Yep.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, he is.
I mean, Trey Turner didn't Trey Turner go
Me-
well?
No,
He's
No,
an
he's not
upgrade
going
over
he-
Segura in the infield in general,
he's
right?
he's okay. You're not going to get anything spectacular out of him. He's got decent range
His speed is really
and
what
an
helps
okay
him there.
arm. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like he's not a naturally gifted defender. So you got him for the offense, basically, and he will probably not be at shortstop for. I'll give him. He's going to be what 30 this year, right? He'll be turning 30 this year, so I'll give him 4 more years at shortstop.
Signed there 6, right?
I
I
mean,
think he signed with the Phillies for 6 years, right?
11, no,
11. I think
Right?
it was
11.
11.
Yeah, 11's 300.
yeah. Hey, Matt, who you guys next factor for your
Me?
Phillies?
Mine is it's had a rough year last year, but I mentioned him earlier, Nick Castellanos. If you look at his stats, especially when he was with the Reds, his second year with the Reds, unreal.
Yeah,
Like
it's 2021.
all-star caliber worthy. Like,
Yeah, he was top 10 MVP too, I believe.
yeah,
Mhm.
fucking unreal hitter.
Yeah.
If he could jump
the guy you
to
paid for.
that, oh my goodness, this team's probably going to be 95 plus.
My concern with that is depending on what the lineup is, but what Fangraphs has is Turner, Schwarber, Hoskins, Real Muto, Castellanos, Hall, Bohm, Stott, Marsh, and
The protections
Castellanos.
are there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the issue with him is that he'll have Hall, Bohm, Stott, and Marsh hitting behind him.
Well, Bohm's looking like he's gotten better, and they really think he's like, a really next fucking,
I think with Bohm, I think a big thing is he sucks defensively. He's got a good arm.
good. He's got
And he
better
fucking hates it there
defensively.
too.
He loves it.
Fucking
He got-
hate it.
fucking
Ever
hates it
since he
there.
said it, he got better. Ever since he said it, he got better.
Oh yeah, true.
He's got a strong arm. I still think that he's a shitty defender, and I don't see much improvement. I'll need to see it to believe it, but I think that he should be putting on a ton of muscle. The dude is lanky. He could hit for power. I remember in the draft I believe it was 2019, maybe 18. In his draft, he what's it called? He was known as a big power hitter. So put on that muscle. You're at third base. You're at the major league level. We don't.
Yep.
We just put on the muscle and put on some power and then do it. I mean, because I remember quite a few times the dude hit it out to the outfield and that ball just did not carry as it would with a lot of other guys. And he's big. He's like 6'5", I think. So yeah.
I'm excited.
I mean,
My X
I'm
factor
so
is Taiwan
excited.
Walker, by the way.
The pitcher needs to do its job. If it doesn't do its job, they're gonna be in a lot of high scoring ball games. It's
Who else is an option besides Bailey Falter? Because you need someone else. He sucks.
Painter.
You think
he's going to
come up?
Noah Song is the guy in the Rule 5 draft who had huge potential coming out of, I think, the Navy. They're working him back.
He's a starter?
Yep.
Okay.
They're going to work him back.
They got another kid in Mick Abel, but they really believe they want him to develop. They're probably not going to bring him up here this year.
Painter has some true top.
Christopher Sanchez, who's had experience in the past.
And I think this year will be a big testament. If Painter comes up and does well, maybe they let Nola go. Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah. Good.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, but you could also you could also work on the fact that you're not going to have to pay Painter for a little bit. But then again,
you're gonna have to though.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah. But it doesn't Nola. If he has a good year, a decent year, does he go somewhere else for more money? Why would he not? And longer contract. Why would he not? Someone's going to give it to him. We've seen that this past off season.
Yeah,
someone's going to give it to him. He's a fringe top 10 starter right now. He's 10 to 15. We'll put him in that range, right? That's elite. I mean, we're talking about what 150 starters roughly minimum, right?
Only had less than 12 walks last year.
Yeah,
Something crazy.
His strikeout to walk. I mean, yeah. That's going to be my hot take. And over under is they won 87 last year. Over under this year set for 89.5. Maxwell, what do you got?
I'm gonna take the over. I'm going 91.
Okay. Fisher, what do you got?
I'm going over. Well, like I said, everything like that's the thing. They're gonna be good, and then they're going to get better because they're going to get their best player back. I go 95, dude. Over.
Okay. I'm gonna go over. I'll give them 92.
Fisher really took your NL Central thing to heart, huh?
What?
Between the Mets, the Braves,
the
Phillies all being right there.
Right there. 2 games off. Yeah.
I don't know. I think something's wrong. Something wrong's gonna go with the Braves. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
In a weird way, I've had that feeling too. That like they've been getting lucky for a little too fucking long.
Good for too long. Yep.
But not just having it too good. They've been getting lucky, right? Just these fucking random signings of fucking Eddie Rosario and Jorge Soler. Random trades, Adam Duvall, and then just
twice
exceeding right expectations,
yeah.
And making these weird fucking trades. Alex Anthopoulos, he has some dirt on some people. I agree. I do agree. I think it is the Braves. I think they are the one on the crutch the most. All right.
I mean, you talk about a team that, I thought good for too long, had too much good luck. I mean, let's look at the Marlins have had so much bad luck for so long. I mean, should we just take it back to that tweet that I sent to you a couple months back?
Yeah.
We've had to, like, once the face of their franchise fucking died, everything's been downhill. Obviously, the Marlins are starting to make moves to where, things are going right. Bringing in Luis Arias, which is a huge move, batting champ last year in the AL. Gene Segura, a very capable infielder, and Johnny Cueto, another guy.
They actually made signings.
Gene
Segura is a multi-year signing too.
And today they signed Jose Iglesias.
He's probably so happy to be down there.
Yuli Gurriel.
Actually, it just passed on the ticker. Look at that.
Hey, down below, ticker. Again, if you're only listening, check out our YouTube. If you're doing YouTube, check out everything on Spotify, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, some good signings. Yuli Gurriel, who is a good bat, don't get me wrong. And considering their first baseman is Garrett Cooper.
I like Garrett Cooper. He was an all-star last year. No.
Yeah, but I still think it's an upgrade.
I disagree very, very highly.
Okay.
Extremely highly.
I'm glad we finally disagree on something.
I think he's an upgrade over Jorge Soler.
Yes, and the DH.
I'll say that. Yeah. That was a stupid fucking signing. Let's sign a guy because he hit a home run in the fucking World Series.
Iglesias is going to compete with Joey Wendell for that infield spot. Probably a platoon.
Yeah.
But you might let's get right into it. You mentioned the rotation for the Marlins.
Yeah.
Alcantara, Luzardo, Cueto, Trevor Rogers, and Edward Cabrera.
Oh, they switched it again.
With Sixto somewhere. God knows where.
He is not going to even be ready for the start of the season. So
no, he had shoulder surgery in October. Max Meyer had Tommy John.
Oh, that's right. And who's the other guy? Braxton Garrett, right? And
I believe so. Yeah, Braxton Garrett, Yuri Perez, Castano.
Marlins have depth when it comes to pitching, which is why they got rid of Pablo Lopez and brought in Luis Arias,
which was a great move.
Yeah,
and let's not forget they brought in AJ Puck too.
Yes, that's right.
They brought in AJ Puck. They brought in Matt Barnes in the bullpen.
Forgot to add that.
JT Chargois, I think it is.
Chargois. Joie.
A raised arm,
It's the
you
French,
know it's going to be good.
motherfucker. Get it
Um,
right.
listen,
Joie.
I like what the Marlins did this year.
By the way,
And now, but Billy, you and I have been saying this for years
yep.
that the Marlins are very much a team to watch out for. They just never put together.
Yeah.
So I like what they did. I'm not expecting much.
No, I like what they did too. I personally, I think the Jazz Chisholm or Chaz Chisholm to center field, that might, I don't know. We'll see. He is an athletic dude, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on. We'll see how that adjustment goes. But their their rotation is their bread and butter, man. Alcantara, fresh off of a Cy Young. Johnny Cueto is a nice veteran arm to have in there. And what's called Luzardo. Luzardo was fantastic at the towards I think the second half of last year. He had a great second half. Edward Cabrera, we know that he has an arm and that has been, they have been dying to get him to come up and finally be what they were expecting out of him. Trevor Rogers was a top 3 rookie of the year in 2021.
Yep.
Off year last year, had some injuries, he was throwing like 90 miles an hour half the time. Get him healthy, bounce back year. Let's go. The rotation is their strength.
Yeah. Oh, and it's the depth there too.
Yeah.
Fisher, anything to add?
Was I like Jazz? He's the most fucking star-studded player on just like a team or an organization that doesn't really get the highlights of it. Well, he's just got the swag. I like his Euro step. He does the Euro step, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, like
you ever
I
see the
said,
story on how that started?
Nah.
No.
He got pissed at an umpire on a bad call, so he Euro stepped the umpire and just started making it his thing.
Nice. It's just kind of one of those things. It's like they're gonna have to fight for a wild card spot because I don't think they could even come close to like 88, which you're gonna need to get a wild card spot. I feel like you're gonna need that like 88 to 86 wins to get that wild card, and I don't think they can do that, which is typical. I mean, we haven't really talked about this team being a contender, but you just look at a lot of the like deep pitching that you just mentioned. Like who are we to say that Alcantara pulls out the Cy Young even in like a 78 win season? He is clear cut Cy Young.
Well, he won in the 69 win season last year. Listen, this rotation, as we said, is deep. They're talented. I see the rotation stealing a few games here and there to make teams sweat, make the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves sweat a little bit early on. I think they'll falter towards the end of the year, but I think it's gonna be some great NL East baseball in the beginning of the year. I just hate the fact that the Marlins play the Mets in September every year.
They know what they're doing. So
without fail.
Yeah.
X factors.
I mean, I do overall, by the way, I do think that they have improved quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
X factors. Oh,
I'll go first.
yeah, go for it.
If he can put together a complete season, it definitely helps because the bullpen isn't fantastic, but they definitely reworked it a little bit. Tanner Scott, Dylan Floro at the back end with Matt Barnes and AJ Puck can definitely, again, they can steal some games there. There's a ton of talent on the staff. It's just a matter of putting it together. And if everyone can have a good stretch, this team can go on a run with 7, 8 in a row, depending on what the schedule looks like. So I'm going to go Luzardo.
Okay.
and see, because again, he's been a guy who's gotten ripped in Oakland, never really figured it out. Early on with the Marlins first year, didn't really get it right. Could he get it right finally?
Okay. All right. Yeah. I they have four guys out of their primary position defensively, so uh, it's a little concerning for me. But I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go Trevor Rogers. I'm looking for a bounce back season out of him. He was fantastic in 2021, and yeah, bring him back. Let's get it.
What you got, Matt?
I'm looking at their outfield, man, and I'm gonna point out a name. Brian De La Cruz, left field.
Who hits
He's
nukes?
solid. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to do what he's got to do because it's like all the other teams in the NL East we just have been talking about. The Braves, Mets, and Phillies all have star-studded outfields that contribute majorly. So if they're going to want to continue to stay in the race, they're going to need their outfield to do similar things.
I like that pick actually. That dude hits nukes, dude. When he gets a hold of one, him and Jesus Sanchez.
Yeah, Jesus Sanchez, dude. Talk about an all or nothing. That guy could hit, that guy could hit it 500 feet or hit it -3. Like, yeah.
So what would we say? The Marlins over under was 75.5.
Yeah, the 169 over under 75.5.
I like the line. I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 76. Take the over.
Okay. What you got, Fisher?
I go under 74.
I'm going under 74 as well.
All right, we're all in that ballpark.
Yeah.
The lines have been fantastic this year, I will say. Lines have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets real fun with the Nationals.
Yeah.
With their line at 59.5. The first thing I could say is Nationals fans, patience is the virtue with this. The haul from Soda will come to fruition. Patience is a fucking virtue.
Hey, listen, they were patient once. They can be patient again.
World Series.
They were. I think they were probably easily actually a top 5 team of the 2010s.
Yeah.
Right. I mean.
Yeah. They won what? 4 division titles?
I think 4.
4 or 5 at a World 4,
Series. Wild card.
Couple no hitters.
Wild card.
Guys, I hate this team. I hate this team. I hate the organization. I hate the fans.
Do you?
I hate the ballpark.
That is interesting.
The ballpark sucks. The ballpark sucks.
I driven by it. I'm like, God, no wonder Harper wanted to leave.
I've actually been into a game there. It's boring.
Yeah.
The ballpark is so boring.
I've actually never heard anybody say, well, like besides when they were good and like kind of a rival of the Mets, I guess, in 2015 and 16. I've never heard anybody say that they hated the Nationals.
It's because they got the success before the Phillies. It's like we signed Harper and they're like, and then they fucking catch lightning in a bottle and fucking.
Well, he did say he wanted to bring a championship to DC.
He did, and then he did bring.
He did say that unknowingly. And then
that's still the funniest thing I've seen.
He was like, "What did I say?" He talked about it after. He's like, "Did I really say that?" And he looked back. He goes, "Shit, I did say it." But he also knew that they were gonna win. But anyways, fuck them.
Me too.
The thing is, like, you can draft well and develop and stuff, but in today's baseball, you gotta spend the money. Gotta spend the money if you want to win. And there aren't really anybody that wants to go to Washington.
Hey,
it's also a team that's up for sale, and there's all that too.
Yes,
to factor in.
But also, I mean, they're in a transition period right now. But I mean, you could say that about the 2009 Nationals, 2010 Nationals, 2011 Nationals. Who the fuck wanted to go there? Just go play Ryan Zimmerman and Roger Bernardina, like.
Hey. No Roger Bernie slander here with more baseball.
No, no,
All right.
no. It was not. It's not slander. Willie Harris, my boy, who always found a way to kill the Mets.
God.
But like Ryan Zimmerman was their only guy. Like Jose Vidro, come on, man. You know, I could keep pulling out old nationals out of my ass left and right if you need. But the moral story is nobody was signing there then, right? From when they became a team in 2005, they were garbage. 2009, they get the first overall pick. They draft Steven Strasburg. 2010, they get the first overall pick. They draft Bryce Harper. They get few years later, 2013, they end up making a trade with the Padres for their top draft pick at, I believe he was the 14th spot. If that's correct, I'm gonna stop looking at baseball stuff. Max, fact check that for me right now. Okay. And so they made a trade. They got Trey Turner, and they started building from drafting. And then came Max Scherzer, fresh off of a Cy Young with Detroit, signing a mega deal with the Nationals. And then, you know, they signed quite a few guys, you know. You get it? Did you get it yet?
What pick did you say?
I said 14.
You can look at baseball stuff. You were one off, 13.
Oh, I was close. I see. I knew he was right there because I knew it was right after the Mets, right after Dom Smith, and I wanted.
He was also drafted by the Pirates in the 20th round in 2011 out of high school.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I remember I wanted Trey Turner. I wanted the Mets to draft Trey Turner, and then when they drafted Dom Smith, I was pretty disappointed. But
you mean Dom Smith, the Washington National Dom Smith?
Yes. But moral story is when you're bad, no one's signing with you. When you're good, you get the pieces. The guys are going to want to sign with you. They have these superstars. They have superstars coming up. They got what's his name from San Diego? I'm blanking. The outfielder. Robert Hassel. And they had Hassel. Robert Hassel the third. And then they have
that's insane.
That other kid that they just drafted last year. He was the number 2 pick, right? They had or number 3.
I just know James Wood also.
James Wood.
Yeah. You're talking about Brady House.
Oh, who's that?
Are you talking about Brady House?
No, I was talking about James Wood.
James Wood. Okay.
But moral story is they're replaying the 2010s.
There's tons of talent.
They're replaying what they've already gone through, right? They're building an insane farm system, right?
Yeah,
they have Mackenzie Gore
could be coming up soon too.
Cade Cavalli was, I mean, he was a top draft pick too. I mean, they have 3 guys who were top prospects in the minor leagues, potentially going into their rotation.
Elijah Green, that's who you think.
Elijah Green, dude, their outfield is potentially going to be if they turn out to be what they can be. They are all 3 are 5-tool potential players who are potentially MVP star-studded players. Like we're talking about, like 3 Bryce Harpers with speed.
Right. Wood and Hassel alone are going to be Machado and Tatis type shit.
The Nationals, as much as you have absolutely, and those are the top 3 prospects right there too in their system. The Nationals have absolutely nothing to look forward to this year besides development out of Abrams and Keibert Ruiz, Mackenzie Gore, Josiah Gray, Cade Cavalli.
See if Meneses can stick.
Yeah, see what he could do. And they're the ace of their true ace of their staff, Trevor Williams. God bless you guys. You got a great piece. Yeah. I mean, the Nationals are building something that is, if it pans out, they are going to literally just repeat the 2010s. They're going to be a powerhouse.
That's one thing. Yeah.
What? Say it again.
The cupboard is not bare.
Oh yeah.
There is so much talent in that farm system. It blows so many teams out of the water.
Yep. Yep.
But listen. At the end of the day, it's the Nationals. They're not going to do shit this year.
No.
The fact of the matter is, the line is set at 59.5. They had 55 last year.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a guy to watch this year except for any of the young guys you mentioned.
Yeah.
There is no real X factor. Nobody's going to make a big difference. I mean, if you want to watch a guy, Josiah Gray, he's a guy who you want to see develop into a frontline starter.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's had stuff. He's got that stuff had since Dodger days. 59.5. What do we got?
I'm gonna go over at 60. Right there.
Fish?
I'm gonna go under. I think they repeat a 55 win season. 2 straight years of 55.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 58. I'm gonna go under.
Okay.
I listen. They're gonna steal a win or two. The young guys, just surprising, calling someone up, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
All right.
That's the
Matt.
National
Thanks
League
for joining
East.
us for the NL East, by the way.
Guys,
Who do you have winning the division?
I have the Mets. They're gonna win this division. They're gonna stay. I don't think they'll fall off in the regular season.
We're gonna
Verlander gives them that. Verlander gives them that bump.
Yeah, the thing is with these guys is like they have it until they don't, right?
True.
It's like he's coming off a Cy Young. There's really no signs he'll slow down, but these guys are up there in age. It's like they hit that wall. It's like you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it with Schwarber and some of these power hitters taking them yard. But I just think they're just from top to bottom. They know what they're doing in the regular season. They know how to not go in a slump, which is a good way to put it. Like they know how to not slump.
They have the best manager in the MLB.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's better than Thompson. But it's
I'll take it. That's win the division. I like that.
It's all about that playoffs, right?
I'll buy it for $1.
All about the playoffs. Because once you get there,
we'll see you there. That's for sure.
Once you get there, man, it's true baseball.
Oh yeah,
true baseball. All right, well, thanks for having me on, fellas. Everyone,
thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Take a pitch. Listen to On the Power Play. We go every week, man. We talk about the hockey. We talk about what's going on. We're in the March Madness right now. Like, season's coming to a wind. Some really good teams.
You mean Mika March? It's Mika March, baby. Let's go.
It's March Madness. It's March Madness, boys. So listen on the Power Play. Billy, Max, thanks for having me on, fellas. Always great talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully we'll see each other at the ballpark, and let's play ball, boys. Let's get the season rolling. I can't wait for the first regular season pitch clock situation
violation.
that just sets somebody off. It's gonna set somebody off. Get some epic ejections. But should be good, dude. Should be good. Looking forward to it.
Can't wait, man. Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, fellas. Have a great night, guys.
Later, brother.
Take care.
All right, so shout out to Fifth for joining the pod. Check out, as you said, on the Power Play at OTPP Pod. That's 3 P's in a row on socials. And check them out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, really. So shout out to him. Wow, listen, it's the NL East. It's the best division in baseball, realistically. Definitely the most star-studded.
Yeah.
And let's switch over to the AL East, where
the second best division in baseball.
Yeah, and it's not much of a difference. There's a very slight edge to the NL East.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of talent in the AL East. So we'll start with the Yankees. Division winners last year, won 99 games. The biggest thing was obviously they had to bring back Aaron Judge.
Yes.
If they didn't do that, well, then it's over.
Yeah.
But they brought back Aaron Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what was that?
No, I was just gonna say the biggest thing that stuck out to me was that they only signed 2 guys.
Carlos Rodon and Tommy Canley.
Conveniently both now hurt, but
But they also brought back Anthony Rizzo, who was a free agent.
Yes.
Um,
Judge, who was a free agent.
right, and Judge was a free agent. That's really the only moves they made.
Yeah.
They kind of stood pat. Let a lot of guys walk in: Benintendi, Carpenter, Tyone, Chapman, Chad Green, Miguel Castro, Tim LaCastro. Apparently, they had Jacob Barnes at one point. God
Yes.
bless them. But they have the biggest thing with the Yankees is the shortstop position with Volpe, Peraza.
Yeah.
Right
Volpe,
there. Dominguez has
by the way.
Is Volpe?
It's Volpe. That's how they have been pronouncing it in spring training games. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't like Volpe. I like Volpe better.
I don't like it.
But
yeah,
Volpe.
A little flair to it. All right, so Anthony Volpe, that just sounds weird to say.
I know.
Dominguez has been crushing it, but he won't make the team this year. But, I mean, let's just look at it though. The lineup, it's very similar to last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's incredibly great. Lineup's almost identical, actually.
Yeah.
With the addition of Bader.
Yep.
And Peraza now, who's allegedly going to be the opening day shortstop. IKF may be there.
According to Fangraphs, IKF is. It's going to be IKF. Yeah. I'd be shocked if it wasn't, honestly. But yeah, basically the same lineup that they were putting out towards the end of the season and
maybe
the playoffs.
Instead of picks, it'll be Cabrera.
Yeah.
Who knows how they're going to do it?
Love me some Aaron Hicks.
The same team. 30-30 guy, right?
Yeah. Maybe even more, honestly.
Yeah. It's the same team. For the most part, we don't have to go into that whole Aaron Hicks 30-30 thing. It's an absolute joke.
What do you mean?
Yankee fans are begging for him to go. The rotation's Garrett Cole, when Rodon is healthy, it's going to be Rodon, Severino, Nestor, Domingo.
By the way, who were we talking about? It's 30-30.
Aaron Hicks. Come on now.
Just need to put that out there.
I can't wait for the text from Mac when he hears that.
That was specifically for you, Macca.
With Rodon hurt, Clark Schmidt could be a guy that slides in.
Yeah.
Listen, the Yankees, it's the same story as the injuries now.
Yeah.
It's like a third, fourth year in a row this is happening consistently.
Yeah.
And it's starting early. Luis Gil had Tommy John surgery last May. Probably won't be ready until September, if that.
Yeah.
Montes, arthroscopic shoulder surgery in February this year. God knows what's going on with that. Him, one of the worst trades the Yankees have made in a long time. Haven't gotten anything from them.
Unforeseen.
Yeah. And Rodon now with the strained forearm, they're going to play cautious. He had the same issue last year. He missed time.
Yeah.
And the bullpen Canley has tendonitis in his biceps. Lou Trevino, strained elbow.
Yeah.
F. Ross is going to be missed the whole year because of Tommy John surgery.
Yeah. And like Macca said earlier, like it's never the guys that you're like, okay, whatever, we deal without them. It's always
right. It's never the IKF, or the Aaron Hicks,
or
like hitters,
or like bench guys. Like it's big players.
Like last year, Nickel was Michael King.
Yeah. I mean, he was fantastic. Yeah.
Loizaga, who struggled coming back from his injury, he'll be back in the World Baseball Classic, I think, so that could help him.
What is he playing with? Nicaragua?
Yeah. Yep.
Right? Yeah. Crazy.
So, listen, there's not much to talk about with the Yankees that we haven't talked about last year, haven't talked about throughout the offseason. It's the New York Yankees. I mean,
they're basically the same team. It's win the World Series or nothing. Like, it's not even just, like, actually get to the fucking World Series. Beat the fucking Astros for once. That's the thing.
Right, right. You have to. The goal is to beat the Astros. The
Yankees. They're theoretically in third place every year. Get over that hump. Get to second place, and then or first. Yeah.
Jump the hump. Yeah.
That's it. There's the same story every year.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing new.
And until that happens, I can't look at this team as a World Series contender.
No, I still
they've
think
shown time and time again that they just can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, no,
they'll be an American League contender.
I get you, but if they somehow did, every team gets hot, every team gets cold. If it happens, it happens. And the Yankees, they have a good team. They do.
Yeah, no doubt. Had 99 wins last year.
Yeah. I mean, their lineup doesn't scare me once you get past fucking Stanton. But
right, Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
94.5 wins. I'm going to take the over at 95, 96 maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not even set on that, but like that ballpark.
I'm going over 95.
Yeah.
Do 95.
Yeah, I don't know. They're an interesting team, and interesting in the fact that, as you said, it's never the bench guys that get hurt. It's always got to be next man up. It's always going to be something new with them. They're starting to turn into the Mets. But player to watch.
I mean, how could it not be Aaron Judge? But
right.
Aside from Judge, X Factor. Really, realistically, Anthony Volpe and Oswald Peraza.
Right.
Really, yeah, it's them. It's them too.
It's really a shortstop position as a whole.
Shortstop, yeah.
I'm going to say Luis Severino. If they can get a full healthy season out of Severino, they'll be okay.
I love me some Sevy.
They can't,
some black glove Sevy. Get rid of that fucking tan glove, Sevy. Get rid of it. If
they can't get a full healthy season of Severino, they're in for a long season because they don't have much depth in terms of starters.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are hurt, traded off Waldichuk and Wisniewski.
And Sears, yeah.
And Sears. Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting as long as the rotation stays healthy. Obviously, the Rodon injury is
a little concerning.
The they want
right now, but he'll be okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I think. I still think they're the favorites in the division.
Yeah. Let's move on up to the top of the border.
Toronto, yeah. Changing the fences at that ballpark.
Yeah.
I mean, they had 92 wins last year.
Right, you want to talk about a fucking Mickey Mouse ballpark? Everyone was talking shit about the Yankees ballpark for years, decades. This is a joke of a ballpark now. But anyway, I digress. I digress.
And let's talk about the offseason that they've had. They had an interesting offseason. Yeah. They let Ross Stripling walk. They traded away Teoscar Hernandez. They traded away Gabriel Moreno.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Dalton Bartro, I guess, in sense to replace Teoscar Hernandez. Eric Swanson was brought in. Kevin Kiermaier brought in, and Chris Bassett.
Yeah.
They also brought in Brandon Belt as a free agent. So it was an interesting offseason, to say the least, for these guys. They signed Chad Green as well, who could be using the Blue Jays to recover from Tommy John.
Yep.
Ryu also had Tommy John last year, so he'll miss most of, if not all of this year. So it's tough to make anything out of this team, because you don't really know. There's a lot of new pieces. The new ballpark, how it's going to play.
I think they're basically
the core is still the same. The core is still the same, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Varsho does. I mean, everyone speaks so highly of him, and he's good. He's good, but his numbers have not wowed me. I mean, last year was his best year at 109 OPS plus, and he's a good defender. He could play all three outfield positions. He could catch too. Not great, by the way, but he could catch.
Right.
Yeah, Chris Bassett is, as long as he does what he does, which is get the ball on the ground, which is definitely why they signed him. That's a great piece for them. Manoah and Gossman are great.
Yeah, and if Rios can figure it out, have Bassett 4, I mean, geez, that's a deep rotation.
Yeah, Berrios sucks. He sucks since he's gone there. But
that's what I'm saying. If he can figure it out, that's a deep rotation. If not, then there's problems.
If he could get back to the way that he was in Minnesota, whatever was going on, But yeah, he's sucked ever since. But
Yeah.
that I think again, I think it's the same story as last year that's going to be this year, and that is that strong offense, good pitching, maybe a little top heavy.
Oh shit! They signed Rob Brantley too.
Yes, the the, the the Yankee prodigy of spring training, according to some douchebag. But yeah, I think the bullpen again is the big issue. Eric Swanson, though,
Huge
phenomenal
piece.
year last year, and that is a huge piece. Still kind of a weirdish trade in my opinion, but I guess they're going.
Hernandez's Varsho is strange to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm assuming it has to do with contract restraints. Assuming.
Probably.
Gave up on Gabriel Moreno because they have Kirk and Danny Jansen, who are both relatively in top 10 catchers. So, yeah, I mean, I think overall, I think that they improved. So, yeah.
And also, they're coming off 92 win season. The
line don't have an X factor, really.
0.5. Yeah, there is no real X factor here.
Like,
just Barrios, if he
can yeah, go on.
Get it together. If you can get it together, it's fine.
I'm going to switch
rotation next level.
I was going to say Barrios actually, but I'm switching
it
Barrios
or Barrios? I've heard it both ways.
I don't know. Okay. Go on. While I'm talking, you can go on.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Baseball Ref. So I was going to say Barrios, right? And I'm going to switch it after looking at this. Vlad Guerrero Jr. just hurt, right? Hurt. He's no longer participating in the World Baseball Classic for Team Dominican Republic. He was good last year. He was phenomenal in 2021. Who is he? We'll see. Do these fences help him? Do the expansion of the good teams are going to get a little bit worse, in my opinion. Like, while sure, they're going to play the Rockies, but now they're going to have to play the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves, the Dodgers, the Padres, like the
Cardinals,
the Cubs, Brewers ain't no slouch. Like, you got legit teams, right? In the NL. The NL, in my opinion, is a little bit stronger than the AL. Again, they'll still get smoked in the All-Star game, though. And and so I think that might take a hit, and the NL has better pitching. So we'll see. I mean, he's going to have to face every single team. Like, who knows? He might have to face Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Sandy Alcantara, Senga.
All one weekend. Yeah.
Sandy Alcantara, Wheeler, Nola.
Rotations we were talking about. Yeah, exactly.
On and on and on, dude. Like, that might take a big hit. I wasn't really thinking about that up until now because, like, I think that's gonna really show us who these kind of players are going forward. And another one is Bobuchet, because he did get better defensively, and he is a good offensive player. He was one of the best in his final 6 weeks of the season, including playoffs. And yeah, that's it. Go on.
It is Barrios, by the way.
Barrios.
Yeah. But you're right. No, I think
across Barrios the league, sucks.
Barrios. Yeah. I think across the American League, we're going to see win totals be down from last year because they had to play the stronger teams in the NL. And you hit it right on the head there. I also think, you look at it, 90 and a half, it's a good line.
Yeah.
I don't think this team gets 90. As you said, Vlad, he's going to have to figure it out which side, which player he's going to be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Where are you going?
So, I'm going to go under with 88.
Okay, I'm going under 90. I think 90 is a nice number for them.
88 to 90 is where I'm at. I was leaning on the lower end of it. Yeah. But let's go down to Tampa Bay, which is weird.
Tampa Bay.
Because Tampa Bay is actually not a city. It's the city of Tampa.
Is it really? By the way, something else I just learned about the Rays.
Go ahead.
The Rays does not mean Devil Rays anymore.
The Rays, the Sun Rays?
It's about sun rays.
Interesting. Well, fuck them.
Isn't that
I
crazy?
missed the Devil Rays.
The whole time I was thought that they just got rid of the word devil because that's what they were doing in like
The
2007,
beginning of
2008,
it.
whenever that was
Yeah.
that they switched. They were making like all the teams besides the New Jersey Devils. They made them
Not be
switch.
satanic and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like with Native
So
Americans now and everything. Yeah.
yeah, like I understand ish in a way, but it was an animal, man. Like, but they are going to have Devil Ray jerseys this year for their 25-year
Let's go.
anniversary. But
I love
yeah,
those colors.
just found out that they were that it's the Sun Rays. The Sun Rays. That's the team. They're Sun Rays. That just made them so weak, in my opinion. But anyway, I digress
I'm taking off 2
again.
wins now for my total. I'm taking off my 2 wins from now on.
Easy. All right.
Let's get into the offseason. They lost.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say. No, you go with the loss, and I'll say the additions. I mean, they're here, so if you're watching, you could read them. But
Kevin Kiermaier, longtime center fielder, really just the guy who they built the core around is Kevin Kiermaier, defensively at least.
Okay.
Gone, went to Toronto, as I said. Kluber, who had a 84 ERA plus, not a great year, gone.
Yeah, not great.
Brooks Raley, they traded to the Mets
for my boy Keyshawn Askew,
which I like that. I like the deal for the Rays a lot.
I like it for both sides. I think it benefits both sides.
And then David Peralta left in free agency to the Dodgers.
Yep.
They also lost Roman Quinn, Matt Whistler, Ryan Yarborough, Mike Zunino, and Nick Anderson.
Yeah.
Is additional losses. Obviously, the gains were.
And then the
minimal.
gains were, so I didn't, in the graphic here, I just added Ben Gamel because I know you're going to ask, why is he here again? Because it is kind of placeholder. I didn't really feel like doing extra work. So it's a placeholder, and he was the only other name that I saw. They made no trades. They didn't do anything. So
yeah, they purchased Kevin Kelly's contract from Colorado.
Yeah,
and Trevor Kelly's a non-roster invitee. This is all just the projected start, opening day roster.
I can't even picture them, so they're not even real people.
Exactly.
So, and now let's get into the biggest signing in their history as a franchise.
The biggest contract in Rays history. Rays / Devil Rays history.
Free agent contract.
Right.
In Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay Devil Rays / Sun Rays history.
Dude, and now we need a jersey that says Sun Rays.
Bro, it's like I was playing Chell the other day. Last week I was creating all my players, whatever. And there's a team in the ECHL, the Orlando Solar Bears.
Yes, that's right.
Not Polar Bears.
You know what's funny, by the way?
The Solar Bears.
You texted me about that, right? About the Solar Bears. Yeah. And then I saw a picture of the Solar Bears, the jersey and everything, on Twitter like 2 or 3 days ago. What's today? Thursday? Friday? Yeah. And so I saw it like on Monday, I want to say. And I was like, that's crazy, dude. He literally just told me about this. I didn't know that they were real.
Solar Bears, baby.
I thought you were like messing around, but that's a real team. Pretty dope. But anyway, Zach Eflin, 3 years, $40 million, biggest free agent contract in Rays history. Yeah. Interesting guy to give it to.
I was going to say, because he was a bum starter.
Yeah, I mean, mid. He was just mid.
Yeah.
Mid. I
don't know. He showed he could be a reliever in the playoffs for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Just a weird deal. 3 for 40. Realistically, that's what you expect for a guy like that nowadays.
Yeah.
So the rest of the lineup hasn't really changed. It's Diaz, Franco, Rosarena, Brandon Lau, right? Lau.
Yeah. Yeah, they had
Ramirez.
They had 3.
They had Lau and Lowe. Yeah.
They had 3, and they were all pronounced differently. Crazy.
Yeah, fucking weird. Ramirez, Margot, Paredes, Bethencourt, and Siri. Listen, that lineup won him 86 games last year. I much of success. I mean, granted, they didn't do much, but
I think that they're going to get better.
Yeah.
From last year, personally. I think that the rotation, granted, Tyler Glass now made a glass. So, but
if Oblique back at the end of February.
Yeah. If he can come back and be healthy and actually contribute to this team for an extended period of time, they're adding back in a way, they added back a shortstop in Wander Franco, who we don't know what his full potential is yet. Will we see it this year? And Brandon Lau, who was injured like all last year. And I think that he has potential to be a top, an easy top 5. I think I actually had him at 5 in my top 10 second baseman.
Yeah.
But I think he's easily top 5 if he's fully on. So those are two big pieces right there.
And here's the thing with the Rays,
you
never know what's going to happen during the course of the season. They'll trade for a minor league arm who's going to be a key piece in the playoff.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's zero way to tell.
That was super accurate. That's it.
We look at projections and the Rays just say fuck your projection. It's tough.
Yeah.
With the Rays of all teams, it's incredibly difficult to get a read on what they're doing. Because on paper, the lineup doesn't look great. The lineup's not going to stand.
Yeah, I mean, the top 4. I mean, Franco, Arozarena, and Lau, they stand out to me. But I think those are 3 potential all-stars. Besides that, yeah, you're right. No, the rest do not stand out.
But they'll still win 80-plus games.
Yeah.
They'll still fight for a wild card spot. They'll still give you fits.
Yeah.
So with the Rays, it's incredibly tough. The over-under here is 89.5.
Yeah, they won 86 last year. So what do you got?
I gave the Blue Jays 88. I'm going to give the Rays 88 as well.
Ooh, interesting. You think they're even?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this team. Because again, as you said, Glass now could come back at some point.
Yeah.
Can he be 100%? Can he be Tyler Glass now 100%?
Shane
can
Baz.
He stay healthy?
Shane Baz? Boz?
Shane Baz. Yeah, Boz.
Tommy
John surgery at the end of last year.
Right? Yeah.
At the end in September. So he's done for.
I just want to take a quick glimpse of their prospects. Oh, Taj Bradley. That's right. He's filthy.
Yeah.
And he'll probably
he could be up at some point this year. Yep.
I think he will.
And the other guy to look good to watch is Curtis Mead. Yep.
Yeah.
Who is a third baseman?
Second base, third base. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Oslevis Wasabe is another guy who will probably come up at some point this year.
Oh yeah.
And cause problems because it's what the Rays do. I'm gonna go 88 wins. What do you got?
I'm actually going with the same thing, 88. I had that in my mind, 88. So yeah.
All right. I'm glad we're on the same page here. You guys are doing that.
First one today that we fully agreed on, right? No, we both said
but we've been in the ballpark.
We both said 97 for the Mets, I think. Right?
I said 101.
Oh no, you said, I thought you said 99.
Fisher said 99.
Oh. You said 101 for the Mets.
I said 101.
High expectations. All right.
Listen, with the Mets, it's World Series or bust.
So Braves, what did you have for the Braves? Did you have 97 for them?
97 or 95. I think 95.
Okay. So this is the first one that we agreed on. I think we might have agreed on the Braves, but either way.
We've been in the ballpark.
Let's move it on up to Aaron. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
It's those dudes that have the Baltimore accent. Dude, you got to go on YouTube, type in Baltimore accent Aaron. And they say Aaron ironed and something, but they say Aaron. Swear to God, you got to look it up. But anyway, Baltimore on the come up, but their owner's brother, whatever he is,
The ownership situation is a shit
Yeah,
show with Baltimore.
absolute
Absolute
show.
shit show.
It's just ridiculous because they say that they can't spend, but they're in the same exact market as the Nationals. The Nationals spent fine.
And here's the fun thing is like you have a team, and we're going to talk about this, of course, over the course of the year. I'm sure a lot.
Oh, I'm
You have
sure.
a team that's coming up with a force, best farm system in baseball, top young players in Rutschman, Henderson, DL Hall is going to be making a difference this year. You
Grayson
had the number one
Rodriguez,
pick last
hopefully.
year, Jackson Holiday, Grayson Rodriguez. So many guys
Yep.
that are going to lead this franchise to new heights. And your ownership battle is going to just continue to suppress this franchise.
Yep.
Horrible PR. I mean, listen, they made some great moves this year.
Yeah.
Brought in Kyle Gibson, Adam Frazier, Michael Givens. James McCann needed a new start. I think it's a great spot for him to be a veteran for Rutschman.
I'm going to be honest.
And they traded Cole Irvin. I think they did a good job bringing veterans.
I think their best signing was Michael Givens.
I can't tell if you're fucking with me or not. Dude.
I'm being 100% serious.
Okay, go ahead. Elaborate.
Kyle Gibson, garbage. Cole Irvin, he's okay. He's okay. He's a little, he's average, maybe a little under average. He's okay. Serviceable guy. Keep him as a placeholder in their rotation.
Right.
I like Jordan Lyles better than Kyle Gibson, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why.
By a lot.
But yeah.
Well, he got a multi-year deal from KC.
That's true. That's true.
Adam Frazier had one good year. I wouldn't expect anything. I wouldn't expect much out of him. James McCann, I feel horrible for him. I hope that he has a comeback season
in New York
as the backup to Adley Rutschman. So, and
I think it's a good spot for him.
But Michael Givens, he's the only one who actually had a good year last year. You were just traumatized by his time with the Mets, his first 6 starts with the Mets. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is for you.
His first 6 appearance. The only start was the one we went to, which threw us for a fucking loop.
You know what I was talking about. His first 6 appearances. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was bad.
Forgot that he started that last game.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, he was decent. Yeah, I mean, God was really telling us not to go to that game too the entire way there. Somehow we persevered.
We should have known.
I couldn't even see out the window. But anyway,
I was so hungry.
I mean, this is an up and coming team. I love their lineup. I do.
Yeah, their lineup. Let's focus on the lineup.
Honestly, I have no idea who Kyle Stowers is. Stowers, however you say it.
Stowers.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I know he's been projected to play a huge piece going forward for them. As a DH, I think he's a big guy.
No, is he? I've seen pictures of him. I know that. Was he ever
6'3", 200?
Yeah, I guess he's a little big. He was not top prospect last year. Was he top prospect in 2021? No.
But regardless, he's a guy. He's a guy who they project to play a role, a key role in the DH spot in the AL East. I think McCann's gonna see some time with the DH spot.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, he probably want to hit a home run if I don't go to the games. Because 2 of his 3 home runs I was there for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mullins, Rutschman, Henderson, Santander, Mountcastle. A lot of fucking syllables in this lineup.
Long last names.
Long ass last names.
Hence why I had to abbreviate a lot of the first names.
Between Stowers, Hayes, Frazier, Mateo makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Urias on the bench. Listen, their time is coming. I don't think it's this year.
No.
They made some noise last year, though. They got to keep making noise.
Yeah, first time over 500 since 2016, right?
Yeah, I like this. I like this team. If Grayson Rodriguez, he's gonna play a huge role. Felix Bautista at the back end of that bullpen's gonna be phenomenal.
Yeah, he was
hopefully
really good.
Again. CNL Perez.
Dylan Tate was pretty solid last year too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I don't even see him anywhere. Where is he? Oh, he's hurt.
Oh,
Strained flexor in November.
Mm,
Yep.
he'll be back.
And then John Means will be back probably August,
Hmm.
which will give him another arm. He had Tommy John early last year at the end of April.
Yeah.
He'll be back August, September for a stretch run. So they could play a big time spoiler, especially in a tough AL East.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I
We
mean,
got to look up who they play in. Watch, we're gonna play them in September. Um, and then James McCann is gonna hit a home run. You know it. But
don't do that to me.
who's your player to watch?
It's gonna be an easy way out. But I'm gonna say Gunnar Henderson.
Okay.
He's a guy that has the tools.
Mm-hmm.
Had a cup of coffee last year at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy is supposed to be the real deal, next big thing,
Yeah.
the future of the franchise, arguably better than Machado was with the Orioles coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he's still he's 20, he's not even 22 yet.
Yeah,
A
he's just
lot of
21,
pressure
right?
on him. Yeah, a lot of pressure on him to succeed, to fill those big shoes of the Machado type. Gunnar Henderson's gonna be I gotta watch.
Okay. I like
He's
it.
got a great head of hair. Got a great head of hair.
I am gonna go with Grayson Rodriguez. It's about time this motherfucker makes it up to the major leagues. He is now what, 23? Yeah, just turned 23. It's time to come up. It's time to come up and be what you're supposed to be for years. We've been hearing this name for
He's a first round
years,
draft
dude.
pick in 2018. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's time. That's it.
Yep. I agree. They had 83 wins last year.
Yes.
Obviously, like I said, made some noise.
Yeah.
76.5 this year is what the projection is, the over under. What do you got?
I'll go over. I think they're
What's your
like
number?
a 500 team. I'll give them 80, 81. I'm
I'm
gonna go
going to say
80.
83. I'm going to take
Gonna
over. I'm going to say
repeat.
they do the same thing last year. Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I I think within the division they'll win a bunch of games that teams that they may not have won last year with the
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Okay.
Um, obviously, we talked about I mentioned the lower win totals across the American League because of playing all these teams in the NL.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still a few games in division. There's still a few. Obviously, the AL Central is a fucking pathetic
Yeah.
division.
I mean, then
they'll be able to roll through that.
a few Yankees had quite a few problems with that fence last year, so
Yeah, and it's worked out well for them.
yeah.
For the Orioles least.
Yeah.
So they're going to be an interesting team to watch.
I agree.
But let's head north to
Very
Boston,
intriguing.
where Boston, who knows what the hell is going on? I mean, they lost an icon in Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude
A
was
franchise
going
guy.
to. I thought he was going to die a Red Sox.
Didn't everybody?
They lost one of the most loyal guys in history in JD Martinez. Dude had 3 opt-outs in his contract, didn't take any of them.
Yep.
Nate Eovaldi, who, again, they could have used going forward, and Michael Wacha, also they lost him.
Yep.
Rich Hill, they lost. RIP to Dick Mountain. He's in Pittsburgh now.
It's just, yeah, go on.
Oh,
Sorry.
wait, you think I'm done? Tommy Pham, they got rid of Matt Stram. Eric Hosmer was whatever. Strom.
Yeah.
What's Stram? Whatever. Franchi Cordero, who realistically
Sucks.
is a piece for any team.
He signed a minor league deal with somebody.
Signed a minor league deal with Baltimore, actually.
Yeah, that's who it was. And it was recently. It was past week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw it when I was looking through some news for the ticker last night, and I was like,
yeah.
Do I add this? No, he sucked. Why would I add it?
But he is a guy who if he makes contact with the ball and barrels it up, it's a ball that'll go far.
You say the same thing about Brandon Woodruff. How often is he going to make contact with the ball, though?
Brandon Woodruff, not anymore because they don't fucking hit anymore.
Exactly. But if it's a playoff game and Clayton Kershaw's pitching, you best believe Brandon Woodruff's on deck.
But hang on, here are the 2 biggest losses: Hansel Robles and Jerry Sevilla. Come on now. But
honestly,
no, listen,
Robles has been pretty decent actually over the past few years.
Yeah, he's still a free agent.
There's a lot of guys that are free agents still. It's crazy.
Yeah, Gary Sanchez still doesn't have home either. Crazy. A lot of losses. But what did they add? Let's see. What did they
Holy
add?
shit.
What?
I'm looking at Frenchie Cordero's baseball reference page.
Not bad.
I mean, over the since 20, so he only played 9 games in 2019, so I'm not going to count that. He has never hit over 238, which he did in his rookie year in San Diego.
Let's go. So, in the same week that they lost
He's bad.
Bogarts, they signed Masataka Yoshida.
Oh, I spelt it wrong.
Yeah, that threw me off for a second. Yoshida.
That's why I looked. Yoshida. Sorry, Masataka, if you were watching
They
this.
also brought in Justin Turner.
Yeah.
On a 2-year deal. They brought in Kenley Jansen.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got.
Dude, the Red Sox are just so fucking weird.
Yeah, they signed Jorge Alfaro, Corey Kluber. They totally redid their bullpen. They brought in Balk Blyer. 3 Balk Blyer. Joely Rodriguez, Chris Martin, and Kenley Jansen on the back end. The 3 Balk.
That was so
I was there for that.
I know.
I was there.
I know. You were texting me. You were like, "Is he actually balking?"
Yeah, that was rough. The biggest thing with the Red Sox is that Trevor Story is having elbow surgery. Alberto Mondesi, who they traded for, had knee surgery back in May, and you got that guy for speed. Knee injury, you got.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Along with that, he's not good.
Yeah, Connor Wong, who I guess was supposed to be their starting catcher. Strained hamstring.
I prefer Taco Bell.
in March,
they have this is just a team of
both hurt. What are you doing?
This is a team and organization of former top prospects who did not pan out. That's all it is. That's what this
Rob
team is.
Snyder.
Yeah, Reese McGuire was a top catching prospect. Alex Verdugo Alex Verdugo was a top prospect. Rafael Devers was a top prospect. Tristan Cassis is a top prospect.
Tristan Cassis is
Adalberto Mondesi was a top prospect. Who else did you say? There was a couple other names, but they were top prospects. This is a team.
Wasn't Alfaro?
Alfaro was a top prospect.
Dahlbeck. Yep.
Dahlbeck was a top prospect. I mean, this is a team.
Sale, Kluber, Pavetta, Carter Crawford was a top. It was a big name at one point.
He's a little bit lower, but Chris Sale was. But
Kenley, Chris Martin.
This is a team of former top prospects.
Yeah.
Who did not pan. Most of them did not pan out.
Yeah. And they really don't have much in the system at all.
No,
nothing.
And they
is going to be the guy to watch.
And they let go Jeter Downs for nothing. Yeah. I mean, just crazy. I do not know what is going on.
Their future.
Okay, I have a question. Can you say Harry Potter in a Boston accent?
No, I can't.
All right, just say Potter. Just say Potter. Mute yourself and say Potter. Potter. Anyway.
My pack.
I'm not a cop. So yeah.
Hey, listen, this Boston team they're not one for wins.
Listen.
This year. They had 78 last year somehow. 78.5 is the line this year. There's no player to no X factor. Really, just Yoshida.
X factor, Yoshida
to the game.
Exactly. Hold on. I do have something to say. This is to Red Sox fans. I want to say that I feel bad for you, but I can't say that until you get rid of that rat fuck. Get rid of that rat fuck. Get rid of him. That fucking rat fuck manager of yours. Then I'll start feeling bad for you again. Right now, it's a ha ha.
I feel bad for him.
No, it's a ha.
No,
What do you feel bad for?
I feel
What do you feel bad for? Boston? Are you kidding me? Boston is the winningest fucking city in the four major sports in the
Billy,
2000s,
Billy,
our entire lifetimes. And you're gonna tell me that you feel
Billy.
sorry? You feel sorry for them? What's there to feel sorry about? Tom Brady
Adam
retiring?
Duvall is their projected center fielder.
Okay, Max. When did they win a World Series?
Do you know how bad you have to be for Adam Duvall to be your center fielder?
How many? When did they win a World Series? How many World Series have they won since 2000?
04, 07, so 4, right? 13 and 18.
Yeah. Yep. How many World Series did anybody else win? They have the most since 2000. And you feel bad for them?
Did they really?
Yeah. Giants have 3. Cardinals have 2.
2. Fucking A.
Who else has more? Baseball is not very.
The Yankees have 3. Yankees have 3. Fucking A.
What? How do you get 3?
2000.
Yeah.
Oh no, fuck! They lost on 3. Never mind.
Yeah. They lost to the Marlins.
Brain fart. So the Yankees have 2. Oh
The
wow.
the Marlins even have a World Series since then, and the Red Sox have 4 World Series in your lifetime, and you feel bad. You feel bad.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's the equivalent to saying that you feel bad for Yankees and the Yankees fans.
No.
No, it is.
No,
It's the same thing. Except, you're right. Actually, I'll agree with you. You're right. It's not the same thing because the Yankees don't have a rat bitch fucking manager. Fuck Alex Cora. Get rid of him.
Aaron Boone.
I'd rather Aaron Boone than Alex Cora. He's not a rat bitch. He's a fucking goofball. He's an absolute.
You see him go yard today?
Yes. What? I don't remember what it was, but it was something.
For his 50th birthday.
Yeah. No. It was something like
fucking bat drop though. Did you
about.
see that?
Yeah.
He knew he got all of it.
I wish we knew. I wish we thought about this earlier. I would have had it ready to play, but yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit angry at you right now for saying that you feel bad for Red Sox fans and that it's not equivalent to the Yankees.
So that's
it's the literal equivalent. It's a literal equivalent to the Yankees. The Yankees and the Red Sox have won the same amount of World Series in your lifetime. Actually, the Yankees have 5 in your lifetime, right?
Since 97, probably.
Well, they didn't win in 97. So, no, they have the same amount. They have 4. 4 and 4. So, look at that. Look at that. Equal. It's the same fucking thing. You got me angry, man.
78.5, huh? What do you got?
Under.
What are you thinking?
Tristan Cassis fails. Rafael Devers is their only hitter to hit. Actually, Justin Turner will also hit over. But those 2 are the only 2 that will hit over 250. Although they have Masataka Yoshida projected to lead the fucking MLB in hitting in 290 with 298. Suck my dick, whoever came up with that garbage. Just like anybody that feels bad for the Red Sox, suck my dick. But anyway.
It's so fun getting you on Hinge. It's so fun when you get on Hinge.
Under 32.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to take the under and say 75, 74.
I'm going to go under. I'll go.
I was thinking somewhere between 74 and 76. There's still a ton of talent on this team. In terms of Kike Hernandez, Verdugo,
they're just a lot. They're just a lot worse than last year. Like they got rid of Bogarts, JD, Evaldi, Waka. Their rotation actually isn't horrible, but
it's very hit or miss though. Kluber, Pavetta, out, Crawford, and Sale.
I think they're relatively going to repeat. I'll go 76. Actually,
I'll stick with 76.
I hope 32 though. I hope 32. I hope they don't win a fucking game until Alex Cora gets fired.
Anyway.
And banned. And then Pete Rose becomes a Hall of Famer. And Barry Bonds becomes a Hall of Famer. That's when I will, when mark my fucking words, I need 3 things to happen. Actually, 4 things. Alex Cora fired. That's number 1. Number 2, Pete Rose inducted into the Hall of Fame. Number 3, Barry Bonds inducted to the Hall of Fame. And then number 4. Do you know what it is? An expansion. When those 4 things happen, then I will get on my fucking knees and I will say, I feel horrible for the Red Sox, and I will bow down to the Red Sox. Just kidding. I will never do that. Fuck that. Fuck Alex Cora.
So the Yankees win the division?
I mean, fucking riled up. Hell yeah, the Yankees win the division by a fucking mile.
Yeah.
Best team.
They're the best team in the division at this point. I
Barring
don't think
injuries.
Division as we thought. Right.
I think that they're more evenly distributed. You know, like the Yankees are, I'd say they're relatively on the same page as the Mets and the Braves. But then like the Mets, Braves, and Phillies are all very good. And there's a big drop off to the Marlins, who are mid at best. They're a little under mid.
Yeah.
And the Nationals are probably the worst team in the MLB this year, right? Whereas the worst team in the AL East is the Red Sox, and they're going to go like 75 wins, right? So yeah, I think it's a little bit more dispersed. So I think it's relatively even, and at least a little bit better. Fuck the Red Sox, fuck Alex Cora, and fuck you. 4 fucking World Series, and you feel bad for them. How? Just
well, I'm guessing
how?
you don't want to talk about the World Baseball Classic, huh?
I already got it up here, man. Of course I want to talk about it quickly. USA all the way. Fuck the rest. They all are bitches, just like the Red Sox and Alex Cora.
Can we talk about Australia upsetting Korea, outslugging Korea?
Oh, fucking yeah.
Awesome.
That was awesome,
absolutely
dude.
Awesome.
Wait, did you see? Did you watch the whole game?
I fell asleep in the 8th.
Oh, okay, because they had actually, I might have been in the 8th,
maybe the
but
7th, maybe
the reliever who thought it was a strike.
Okay,
you didn't see that? He pitched, right? He threw a pitch, and then he did like a spin. And he was like, "Let's fucking go! Oi, oi, oi!" And then it was a ball, and he goes, "You fucking kidding me?"
I love Aussies.
It was great, dude.
I think China's about to win a game.
Yeah? Who are they playing?
The Czechs.
Fuck. I feel bad for the Czechs. Those are my dogs right there. They're just like me and you working day jobs, man.
So the Czechs are
sick.
So as of this very moment, it's 1:49 a.m. on the Friday the 10th.
Yeah.
Top 9, 1 out. Runners on second and third. The Czechs are down 1.
Wow.
And they're up.
Let's go check. Let's go check. Let's go
I
check.
I want the Czechs to win this one.
Dude, I wish Mike Trout was like straight from Czechoslovakia. How fucking funny would that have been? All these guys with day jobs.
Cuba is so disappointing right now.
Faltering.
0-2, and they're losing to Panama at the current moment, bottom 5.
So that would pretty much seals them eliminated. Yeah.
Yeah. That would eliminate Cuba.
Italy, dude.
Italy with one win.
And what was that win? A walk-off.
Over Cuba.
No, walk-off. It was.
Extra innings. They were the away team.
Oh, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
I saw earlier. It was a walk-off.
Nope.
Who's the idiot that posted that? MLB Elites?
I don't think it was a walk-off, at least.
Anyway, yeah,
Italy looked legit. They held Cuba, and Cuba's got some good players. Our
boy Cat pitched very well.
Yeah. It was not a walk-off. Italy scored 4 in the 10th because they using the extra inning rule. Shout out to Matt Festa, by the way, who caught the win in the World Baseball Classic. Former East Stroudsburg pitcher, now at the Mariners, and he's a New Yorker as well. So shout out to Matt Festa. Hopefully we'll get him on the pod at some point soon. That'd be cool. Italy plays Chinese Taipei at 6 a.m. So probably right around the time the episode's getting released. And then
So somebody messed up and said that it was a walk-off. Dummy.
China versus Australia.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a bloodbath. Italy, Panama over the weekend. Listen, over the weekend's when the real teams start to play. The group of death, Pool D, which I don't know if I know I've talked about it with you: Dominican
Yeah.
Republic, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Israel, Nicaragua.
Mhm.
That's a tough group. Israel went undefeated in pool play in 2017, beating Korea, all them. They had better talent this year, but they're in a much harder group. I don't think they do the same thing. I think it's gonna be the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, honestly. That comes out of that. Venezuela is though no slouch.
I'm gonna go with if I was a betting man,
Which you're not.
I'm not. Yeah, that's a big fact. I am not a betting man. It's a
Although
waste of
you
your
would win
time.
a lot of your bets, though.
I
You would.
would.
You would win a lot.
I
That's who
would.
you won today. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I was thinking that earlier. I was like, yo, if I actually bet on everything that I have bet on in my life,
Yeah.
I have like 100 grand, bro.
You'd bank, yeah.
But yeah, no, it leads you down a dark path. You should go seek some counseling if you are a extreme gambler. But
yeah. So who you got in the group of death right there? Full D.
Israel
Yeah.
and Venezuela.
I know you're serious or not. You really think the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans are gonna falter that bad?
Dude, the Dominicans are so overrated. They're so overrated. So insanely overrated.
So you have Israel.
Don't get me wrong. No. It's gonna be DR. Right. It's gonna be DR and PR. But dude,
I was a little worried about your sanity for a second.
No. Seriously. Yeah, you don't even have to worry about my sanity. I know that the Red Sox have a bitch ass manager. You don't. We have to worry about your sanity. That's what we have to worry about. Fuck you. Red Sox have it fucking bad.
So
feel
also,
bad for them. Fuck you.
Pool C starts play the weekend,
smoke you,
which is me off the North American pool, pretty much, where it's Mexico, Canada, U.S., and then Colombia and those Brits.
USA. It's all it's about. Nobody cares about anything else.
Yeah. All right. Listen, it's been a fun World Baseball Classic to start. I mean, listen, Cuba going down to 0-2 now, possibly 0-3.
Yeah.
Australia catching a win. China maybe getting a win.
Yeah.
Tonight. Let's see, is there an update on that? The Czechs took the lead 7-5. Let's go.
We spoke it into existence.
There you go.
Who they playing?
Czechs now joining Japan and Australia potentially at 1-0 going into Friday. Sorry. I mean, dude. Wow. What? Let's go. This is why we love the World Baseball Classic. Meaningful baseball. It's being played on TV.
It's fun every night.
And it's fun. It's representing your country.
Yeah.
I love that, or your heritage for a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. I know you have the USA winning it all.
Hell yeah.
So
who do you have winning it all?
I think Japan.
I like that. I like it.
I think Japan can win it all.
Why not? I like it.
So it's been fun. It's been real. It's been a long episode.
It has. Fucking way too
Check
long.
out all the other podcasts on the network, on the Power Play, from the tips. Check out the merch. Links in bios. All his socials. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, OnlyFans, Take a Pitch. What? Yeah. See you there. Peace.
Fuck out.
It's Tito made.
Yee.